Today's major earthquake in western Colombia. Crews now scrambling to dig through the rubble for survivors. ABC's Faith Abube is in Medellin.
American Alyssa Aroyavi was at the gym in Medellin when it hit.
There was like this sudden commotion and everybody was yelling, and the staff then was like really pushing everybody to get outside as quickly as possible because it was quite strong.
The damage widespread, impacting health and community centers as well as roads, making it difficult to assess damage in rural areas.
President Trump says he spoke to U.S. Marine and veteran Robert Gilman after his release from a Russian prison. The 32-year-old held and abused for 4 years, according to the group advocating for his freedom. Gilman was said to be gravely ill. He is now on his way to a U.S. military hospital in Texas, where he'll receive medical attention. On Wall Street, stocks are lower due to the unrest in the Middle East. This is ABC News. Signs the housing market continues to slump. Existing home sales slipping again between June and July. That's a trend that began earlier in the year, according to the National Association of Realtors.
Month-to-month sales of existing homes slipped 1.7% last month, a softer decline than the month before. And compared to a year ago, sales were actually a little higher. Realtors blame the 2026 drop on rising interest rates and a limited number of existing homes for sale. For sellers, the upside is that the average pre-owned house is sitting on the market for only 29 days. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
In New York, Luigi Mangione back in court today for the last scheduled pretrial conference in a state murder case for the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO. The judge set jury selection for September 8th. He's still weighing a request to allow cameras at the trial. And another chance to win big. The Powerball jackpot ballooning to $1 billion after no one matched the 6 numbers last night. The next drawing is tomorrow night. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Our historic wildfire season is far from over. That is one story coming up. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic. North 5 into Seattle at the Michigan Curve. Road work is blocking 2 right lanes. We've got a 3-mile bumper-to-bumper backup stretching all the way back to near the south end of Boeing Field. So South Center to Seattle will take you 35 minutes. That's a 20-minute delay. Once you get through this, you're all clear until you reach a very brief backup at the Ship Canal Bridge. Now, South 5, we're going to jam up in Northgate in the downtown. At 80th, it starts to loosen up for you. Linwood to Seattle, a half hour. South 405 crowded from Southeast 8th and Bellevue to Northeast 44th. North 405 slows to the Renton S curves. And over to Jefferson County, a little south of Quilcene, Highway 101 closed in both directions this afternoon near Fallsview Campground. That's a milepost 299. A semi rolled off the roadway down the embankment. The road will remain closed until crews can recover the semi, so plan on a long-term closure here. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good afternoon, I'm Nate Connors. Washington State is in the middle of a devastating and historic wildfire season. The Seattle Times reports the state is enduring its third worst fire season in 20 years. So far, flames have scorched more than 720,000 acres across the state. That massive number actually equals nearly 2% of Washington's total land area. Officials warn we still have about 2 months left in the peak fire season. A shipment of emergency food and supplies from Seattle to Spokane is being delayed after a truck broke down.
One group ran into slight issues yesterday while preparing those supplies. Food Lifeline's items were stacked inside the warehouse, but the transport truck that was supposed to go to Spokane, well, it broke down. So that means the shipment will need to wait at least one more day. Right now, we're working to find out if the truck is repaired and ready to head out today.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reporting. While the cat count keeps climbing on Tacoma's waterfront, animal control crews removed 23 more cats from an abandoned sailboat Monday, bringing the total rescued from the vessel now to 53. The sailboat was discovered off Point Defiance after neighbors spotted dozens of cats and kittens on deck. Shelby Boyd is with the Tacoma Police.
This is strange. 20 years with the police department, and I haven't found anyone yet that said, oh yeah, we had that once before. So yeah, this is a new one for us.
She says the animal control supervisor described the cat's conditions as okay. Some of those rescued Monday had some skin and fur issues. Officials say 2 cats remain on board. A 29-year-old man is in jail after a shooting at Cal Anderson Park late last night. James Lynch has more.
Seattle police say a 49-year-old man was shot in the lower leg and taken to Harborview Medical Center. Officers canvassing the area later found the suspect near 10th and Pine and arrested him without incident. Here's SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
The suspect was booked into King County Jail for investigation of assault. Our gun violence reduction unit will determine what led up to the shooting.
The victim is listed in stable condition. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Mostly sunny, 77 today. Morning clouds turning mostly sunny through the weekend with highs slowly climbing into the low 80s. Overnight lows stay warm right around 60. Sunshine and 67 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Jake Skorheim sitting alongside Spike O'Neill.
Happy Tuesday, brother.
Spike, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
A lot of stuff to get to. We have a lot of things to discuss. We got a great question of the day we're going to get to in just a couple minutes. I believe we're going to have a lot of responses to this one.
I would hope we would.
It's a very good question.
It's a question everyone should have thought of before and has an opinion on.
I'm sure everybody has. Yeah, so you'll let us know. But we're going to start out. We are pulling a little bit of a change of schedule because there was a press conference just a little bit ago. And this was really interesting because this has kind of become, there was a Bye to Seattle press conference, and you have the interim police chief who was answering some questions. And the questions were about, all right, well, like primarily, is there a murderer on the loose? I'm going to play some audio for you guys in just a little bit.
It wasn't the only thing asked, but I think it might have been the most important thing.
That would be the red flag one that I would pin on. I'd say, like, hey, why don't we let's get the murderer off the street, if there is one, or if there's many, or if there's not, we'd like to know. Answer some of these questions just so we have an idea as the public, and then we can deal with all the other stuff. But that would be the big one for me. But what's interesting is, I don't know if you feel this way, and maybe this was because the week after the Bye to Seattle, whole week of craziness that then led to Katie Wilson basically, demanding the resignation of Chief Sean Barnes. I went out of town for a few days, but did that continue? I was in a different state. Did that continue to be a big story, or did it feel to you guys like it has to me now that I've been back for a few days and kind of like getting back into the news cycle? It feels like a lot of that has kind of been memory hold. Am I wrong about that?
Not at all. And I will give some credence to the fact that the Eastern Washington wildfires took over the days.
Sure.
Of last week.
The news cycle steps in.
Air quality, property loss, 65,000 plus evacuated. Those are big, big stories. But to your point of the Seattle Center, the Bye to Seattle shooting.
Yeah.
And what we still don't know. And I mean, the mayor's office was the story.
Yeah.
And the Seattle Police Department, the former chief, Barnes, was the story after the week of that mass shooting.
Well, it became like a distraction story. I mean, it was important because a lot of us, I think it was a CYA firing, a resignation that was demanded to cover up Katie Wilson's very, very poor response as mayor. Chief Sean Barnes ends up having to resign, getting kind of a sweet deal to resign instead of fired.
That was before his laundry was thrown across the lawn, his dirty laundry, whether it be, his personal financial history was revealed, his
out-of-state residence,
his travel log,
how much he's traveling, all these different things.
It was just flooding the zone.
But people stopped asking, hey, there might still be a murderer or possibly multiple killers on the loose, and where are you guys in that investigation? Because it's been a few weeks now. Councilmember Rob Saka, I'm going to play you some audio here. This is obviously this is the number one question anybody should be interested in.
This was
Seattle's interim police chief.
A briefing from the Seattle City Council Public Safety Commission.
Yeah.
And they spoke to Acting Chief Sales, and I believe a public safety representative from the mayor's office, Holcomb, was there, along with another member of the SPD, Captain Ward.
Bunch of people we don't know.
We got them. We got them, all three of them. But they, from the 15-minute briefing that was scheduled turned into an hour and a half's worth of kind of an inquisition, a much deserved and required inquisition from members of the Safety Council.
Listen to a bit of this. This is Rob Saka asking about the possible killers on the loose.
Is there a killer on the loose? Yes or no?
Speaking with my detectives this morning, we're combing through some warrants and looking at some things. We still have to comb through some video surveillance that was there. I can't say yes or no. There is a possibility, and I think we're getting to the end of that once we get the evidence that we need from our detectives, looking at the video, looking at some social media things. I think we'll have a better response and a better idea if there's actual killer on the loose right now.
Didn't investigators speak with, interview, talk to dozens of people who are around there, including the victims that could have firsthand knowledge of whether or not, of how many shooters there were?
In traumatic events, sometimes when you're a witness, some things may be not as true as you think they may be because you're in a traumatic event. So once again, like I spoke at the first press conference, I don't want to say a person in a green, purple, yellow shirt is the person that we're going to arrest, and we make an arrest, and that is not the person that was there because there's thousands of people that were running from that scene at that time.
In fairness, it would be. I mean, it was an incredibly hectic situation.
Absolutely.
It goes back to this whole conversation about whether or not, public areas that are, city property, shouldn't they be monitored by camera? Certainly there are many parts of the city that are monitored by camera. This one apparently did not have adequate camera coverage. Not that Katie Wilson would have had them on to begin with if she could have them on. But, to their credit, Seattle police are making the best of the situation that they can, obviously.
Yeah, but
they're trying to do what they can.
Yeah, but when you've got 3 people killed, 3 people dead from gunshots, you've got
two innocent,
and one person who was maybe gang affiliated. There was some involved in the shooting.
We call them groups now. We're not allowed to call them gangs.
Fair enough.
No,
but when you've got three dead from shooting, and you've got a 15-year-old in custody, and his weapon, the ghost weapon, was not the murder weapon.
Mm-hmm. One of the other guns found on the scene was it unfired? It was had a full clip, right? One of them that was unmodified, have 7.
Yeah, but there was 3, and I'm not sure if that was the one that was 2 initially recovered.
And there was another one that was modified.
Recovered during the cleanup, the post melee cleanup of the vendors. Mm-hmm. My point being, if there are dead people, and the one person you have in custody wasn't a shooter, to say that there's still an active shooter or the shooting suspect is still at large, I don't think it's a hard question to answer. You can say we don't want to give any descriptions. We
Seems
don't
like a yes.
We don't want to speculate on how many people are involved. Yeah. At the bare minimum, people are dead. You don't have the shooter in custody. Is the shooter still out there?
Yeah.
I'm not a police.
Yeah, and it's we don't need
I'm
to know.
I'm not a detective, but I've seen a lot of television.
You and I do solve crimes from time to time.
We do.
Mostly small animal related, but
That's fair. That answers. I understand that Acting Chief Sales is trying to be, I don't know, careful, politically correct, but that seems like a really simple question to answer.
Well, listen to this part. This next cut actually speaks to that. He talks about the lack of information that they're giving out. Maybe it's strategic.
What is the standard operating procedure for informing the public with just even that smallest a nuance of information?
I think that's the information that we're working on, making sure we're getting that out. I know I've been working with our PIO office over the last week and a half in regards to coming up with a comprehensive plan.
So possibly I'll be honest, that did not sound like a solid answer. I'm going to play
that one more time. Didn't sound like an answer at all,
kind of that's one of those things, sometimes people talk, and do you do this where sometimes somebody will say something and it's just because there's no information actually coming at you, you don't have any place to put it, so it just flies by your head.
Yes.
That's what that felt like to me.
What is the standard operating procedure for informing the public with just even that smallest a nuance of information?
I think that's the information that we're working on, making sure we're getting that out. I know I've been working with our PIO office over the last week and a half in regards to coming up with a comprehensive plan.
Words. Here's words. Let me see. I understand that you're asking me questions. Let me respond with words.
Let me do a little tap dancing for you.
Listen,
and not answer the question you asked at all.
I feel bad for this guy, interim police chief. Is it Andre Sales? Because He's stepping into a very difficult situation. Obviously, Barnes had to fall on his sword. He was forced to. I don't think anybody's arguing that Barnes was not shown the door and was forced to do that. Although the payoff, did you guys talk about that payoff last week when I was gone? Did you talk about the money?
We alluded. There wasn't a real hard figure until, was it close to $800,000 was finally settled on?
Yeah,
the city?
I think that was the number, somewhere around there.
High
seven something.
Yeah. Couple years salary or something like that.
Yeah.
What it equated to.
Yeah, and then there was some hiring bonus stuff that he got that was kind of controversial at the beginning, but he got to hold on to, and there was some relocating fees that initially happened, even though it's in question about whether or not he actually
relocated. But you got to go right now. But you got to go now.
But you got to go, and you can never sue us again. Yeah. Would you have taken that deal? Here's a question for you real fast. Would you have taken that deal? Forced to resign. You're not going to be listed as fired, and obviously he's a fairly... he's of still hireable age. I don't know how old the guy he is. So
I think he's an attractive candidate. I think his resignation. Yeah, he's a very attractive candidate. I do. I really do. I think his financial situation was just smoke to kind of cloud the situation of post-shooting.
Kind of put him in a corner.
Yeah, and paint him as maybe the fall guy scapegoat for this scenario. I think his travel was predetermined and approved. So that's really not a factor in this. What it really boils down to is the communication breakdown that was addressed also in this briefing on the day of the shooting at Seattle Center. Those are the factors that led into it. Did he have a massive potential lawsuit against the city?
Yes.
Yes. I think that's easy to say.
I would not have taken 8. I would not have taken 800,000.
Is one in the hand of maybe $3 to $5 million in the bush, as they say?
I'd take the bush. I'd take an $8 million. I'd take a $5 million bush over an 800 in the hand.
Now factor in a 40% legal fee. So now you're talking about
we're talking about 2.5.
2.5, and that's a maybe, and that's a couple years down the road through litigation.
Yeah, I'd do it.
Would you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now imagine you're a former chief of police in Seattle that's now looking at other gigs, maybe in Chicago, which has an opening.
Sure.
Do you hang around and sue the city?
You could now go around and give speeches about being wrongly fired for your mayor's bad response.
There's a
whole.
There's upside both ways.
This guy goes around and was like, he was a big time public in the eye.
He was a sought after face of the law enforcement community with regard to the black law enforcement community. He was speaking at the a conference of law enforcement executives, black law enforcement executives.
Was he speaking, or was he just there?
No, he was.
Somebody was being honored. I don't know. I think somebody was just being honored. He was maybe in attendance.
You're right. There was a local member of that community that was getting recognition, and he wanted to be there in support of that. It's hard to say. He was out of town so often.
He's out of town a lot
for both business reasons and personal reasons. And as I said, that had to be approved ahead of time. You don't just take those weekends off. Part of the things we've come to realize since then, because this story, you're right, it's been memory hold. Things happen so fast, and the news cycle changes so quickly. But there's so much we still.
I wonder if Katie Wilson was on the eastern side of Washington lately. No, I was just joking. She's just out there with matches. She's like, I need another news story.
There's so much stuff coming out now.
It's a joke,
it's been revealed that not only was Chief Barnes out of town for business, for a valid business, VBR, valid business reason, also Deputy Chief Underwood was on vacation that weekend. And now acting interim Chief Sales was also on vacation that weekend of the Seattle Center, the Bite of Seattle shooting. All three of them were scheduled to be out of town on that weekend.
Doesn't he also live in Chicago?
He lives here. Sales lives here. They have a home in Chicago, but his wife is here. He and his wife are here.
Okay.
The point, because I've been having this conversation in the newsroom for the last 2 hours. And we said this right after the shooting took place. If you've got the top 3, arguably, in the chain of command for Seattle Police Departments,
gone.
But somebody's sitting in the chair. Mm-hmm. Somebody's been designated. You're the guy on call. You're answering the phone. You're the first contact should something happen. Somebody's in that chair for 6:30 shooting, and
somebody's gonna be making those calls
to alert the community.
Yeah,
that's the breakdown of communication that we're talking about here today. And as we said right after the shooting too, if you're a 21st century guy, a chief of a major city's police department, you got your phone. Something happens at 6:30, you should be dictating the flow of information to the city. Mm-hmm. I don't care where you are. You're not coming by covered wagon. You can communicate with your chain of command, with your staff, and make sure the community is alerted in a timely fashion for regard to public safety.
Yeah, but that eventually would fall in the mayor's office, right?
You just skipped ahead to the $1 million question.
Yeah, who's in charge of making the decision to alert the public? And
because the mayor said that she was unaware that the city hadn't been notified.
Yeah, come on.
So, but does every emergency alert system from the Seattle Police Department, and they're often the case, it's not often like an active shooter level of concern.
Yeah.
But the city's emergency alert system is deployed for numerous reasons. Does everyone have to be cleared by the mayor's office?
Let me ask you this question. I can't answer that question for every single time they want to use it. It has to be.
Yeah, that seems to be the crux of the lack of breakdown of communication.
You have a mass shooting, gang mass shooting.
Yes.
In Seattle. This is Katie Wilson's first big crisis as mayor. Doesn't it it feels a little bit of a stretch of the imagination to think that she would be so in the dark about what's going on and how that information is being given out to the public, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't somebody in her office step be like, oh, by the way, Mayor Katie, it's been like 5 hours. I mean, the press were certainly there asking questions.
From 7:30 on.
How's it possible that nobody got to her offices and she just didn't know? And how's that even? And isn't that? I mean, like it's like somebody who breaks a law and they say, "Well, I'm ignorant of the law." That's not an excuse.
Absolutely right.
So she needs to know these things. Anyway, we're far afield. We're talking about this press conference they just did here. Saka did try to press a little bit and ask about the shirt that they mentioned. The guys, is there somebody in a specific color shirt that you guys are looking for? Why are you not identifying a possible suspect? Is there anything here that has to do with race? Is that the reason you guys are not identifying somebody?
So, irrespective of the race of this person, are you able to provide a description of what they were wearing?
At no time did I bring up anybody's race in regards to this. As a black man myself, I understand it as well.
Wait a minute. What? Hold on. I'm going to play this clip again. What was this? What was the setup
I cut
here,
it a little
Laura?
bit shorter because we were short on time. But basically, Rob Saka was like, you're so worried about mischaracterizing the suspect. Is that because he's black? He might be black, right?
Because of his race? Can you at least tell us what someone was
wearing? Are we worried about, racial profiling here? And
I don't understand. So they were saying they're not going to give out information on his race? Is that
they're not giving out information at all. So
yeah, we don't know if who the person or how many people there are, or what color they were wearing.
Well, listen to this.
They might.
Okay, well let's play this whole cut, and then we can.
So, irrespective of the race of this person, are you able to provide a description of what they were wearing?
At no time did I bring up anybody's race in regards to this. As a black man myself, I understand it as well. I did not say a race. There was a potential identification of a person wearing a blue shirt. That's as far as I'll go with that.
What? A blue shirt about 3 weeks after the incident. That is better than nothing.
That's not better than nothing.
Well,
That's still nothing.
Still
Does
nothing.
somebody wear a shirt every day that's the same shirt?
Well, I think that may be relevant or important, pertinent, because if you're a witness that day, I saw some guy running in a blue shirt that day. Maybe I can call the tip line.
Well, if there's a video, then that would be helpful.
Yeah. Well, and they're in possession of all these videos.
But I'm sure there was more than one blue shirt that was being worn at the Bite of Seattle that day. It would be helpful to know somebody's general race, which is something that somebody could identify if they had it.
I'm with you. It's frustrating.
Who cares
and
what
infuriating.
race somebody is if somebody's out there shooting people? Who cares?
Well, I think with regard to who saw what and who can help us with a lead, with a tip that maybe you saw somebody get into a car. Maybe I saw this ethnicity in this colored shirt get into this kind of car. Then maybe you've got one more lead to track down.
Are you as a person able to, I know I am, are you able to identify somebody across the room and say like, oh, this is either a white person or this might be an Asian person or this might be a black person or somebody who's Indian?
Yeah.
If you're able to make those identifiers, isn't that helpful in trying to track down somebody who's shooting into crowds and killing people?
I would say so.
And I don't understand why the police are saying, like, if they're even, what's the investigation even going to be if they're not telling anybody who to look for? Why are they even having a press conference?
Well, I think this press conference, like I said, it went about an hour and a half.
And we got
briefing.
blue shirt?
Yeah. Well, there were many questions were asked about communication and chain of command and all the different elements that went into why we still almost 3 weeks later don't know enough about what happened that day, let alone who committed the crimes involved.
Golly, good luck. If all you get is blue shirt out of the deal, that's good luck. All right. We didn't even get to the question of the day.
We did not.
This is a very good question of the day.
You want to tease it real quick?
I got to set it up real fast.
Yeah.
Given all the craziness that we just talked about.
Well,
I got it real fast.
Yeah.
Washington has ranked pretty low on the list of states where somebody might choose to live in quality of different things. I think the number was 33. Overall ranking.
Wallet Hub did a ranking of cities. So affordability, economy, education and health, quality of life, and safety. Those are the main factors. And we ranked 33rd out of 50.
Where do we rank on safety?
50th.
50.
Dead last out of 50.
You listen to a press conference like that and you get blue shirt and you have some idea about why we might be ranking 50. But the question is, if you were going to start over or if you were going to be choosing a state to live in right now, what criteria would you be using? What would you be deciding for? Yeah. Is it taxes? Is it safety? Is it proximity to state parks? Is it schools? Yeah. We'd like to know. 888-973-5476. We're going to dig into all of that stuff at 1:30. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, when we come back, we have a ton of stuff. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. And when we come back, there's scooter gangs going around. What, scooter groups?
Well,
we don't call them gangs. We call them groups.
They're groups. We're talking about scooter takeovers, e-bike takeovers. They're taking over communities in an organized fashion.
All right, tell you about it next. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Sunset Auto Family.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
I felt like I had pins and needles sticking into my feet like they were on fire. Couldn't figure out what was going on and suffered with it. Very uncomfortable to try to get to sleep. So I started to do some research, and it sounded like it might be peripheral neuropathy. If you have it in your feet, it migrates up towards your knees. So I thought I better take care of this. My primary care physician was only offering me gabapentin. It's a nerve blocker, and it didn't make a difference. Maybe toned it down a little bit, but it was so painful to walk. I called Sound Pain Solutions, and right away I got a good feeling. Had my first appointment. They said, we're going to help you. We're going to get through this. So I said, okay, let's do it.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We use non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers find relief.
My husband and I went on a trip through the Panama Canal, and being able to walk was really delightful.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle Public Safety Committee Chair Bob Kettle today laid out a minute-by-minute timeline of his actions the night of the July 26 mass shooting at the Bite of Seattle.
The shooting happened around 6 p.m. that night. Kettle says he got to Seattle Center around 7:20 when the scene was still active.
My escort, again, I did not know it was an active with the IMAX SWAT operation, was the Seattle Center security officer, and I should note a former Marine.
At 8:57, Kettle says he was briefed in the Seattle Center Armory basement and joined a 26-minute conference call that included Governor Ferguson, Mayor Wilson, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, then Police Chief Sean Barnes, and others. He says he later declined an invitation to the 10:50 p.m. news conference. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police are investigating a deadly collision in North Seattle. Police say a 37-year-old man riding an electric scooter was struck by a westbound minivan around 12:44 this morning near Northwest 85th and 24th Avenue Northwest. The man died at the scene despite life-saving efforts by Seattle fire medics. Police say the 16-year-old driver returned to the scene and cooperated with investigators. No signs of impairment were found. For one Spokane homeowner, firefighters brought a little hope out of the ashes left by the Old Trails fire. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon reports.
Robert Smith says he regretted leaving his mother's urn in the chaos of evacuating from his home. And when he came back, firefighters noticed him digging through the rubble. They offered to help. They all looked through what was left and finally found some pieces of that urn.
I felt like I was loved again. You know, I kind of felt like I let her down a little bit, you know, not having her around, and now she'll be around and she'll be here with us forever.
Smith says that he plans to frame the pieces of that urn and he plans to hang it up whenever they are able to rebuild.
Bellevue police say a gas theft gone wrong caused a dramatic vehicle fire Saturday morning at an apartment complex near Village Park Drive Southeast and Southeast 54th Place. Investigators say the suspect tried to siphon fuel, igniting a fire that destroyed the vehicle and damaged another. Bellevue PD's Drew Anderson.
There was some damage, but thankfully only one vehicle was seriously damaged, and it was the vehicle that was caught on fire.
No injuries are reported and no suspect has been arrested. A look at Wall Street, the Dow down 160, S&P 500 down 25, and the NASDAQ down 165. And now check on your traffic, brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union. North 5 in Seattle, the Michigan Curve. Road work continues to block two right lanes. The backup has improved now toward mid-Boeing Field. South Center to Seattle down to a 20-minute commute. South 5 jams up from 85th in the downtown. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. In South Hill, we've got a collision northbound 161 at 132nd Street, blocking your northbound lanes. And in Jefferson County, south of Quilcene, Highway 101 remains closed in both directions near Falls View Campground. That's milepost 299 as crews are trying to recover a semi that rolled off the roadway down the embankment. No estimation when this roadway will reopen. Open a money market special online with 3.75 annual percentage yield with full access to your money the entire time at harborstone.com/money market. Insured by NCUA. 77 and sunshine all day today. A little cloudier Wednesday and Thursday, but still plenty of sun with highs making their way into the low 80s by Friday, where it will be mostly sunny. 69 and sunshine over downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, you ride motorcycles?
30 plus years.
30 plus years. Have you ever been involved with, or have you ever heard stories about motorcycles surrounding a vehicle that maybe wronged them in some way?
I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in a couple instances with regard to a driver getting an entanglement of some sort with a cyclist, and then the column of cyclists that were together kind of
catch up
and ask the driver to, own up to what happened, or if there's a collision or some kind of damage done.
And it's that's like an exchange of insurance information, something like that?
In the best case scenario, sure. Yeah. I've also seen instances where groups of motorcycles of the sport variety, not the, I ride a Harley.
Yeah.
The crotch
sport bikes, crotch rockets. Yeah.
Literally have gangs, and I'm going to say gangs in this regard, with 20, 30, 40 or more.
Groups. We're not allowed to say gangs
Groups
anymore.
Of these cyclists will literally move through traffic and surround a car and mess with the driver, or, kick at the driver. I've seen this happen.
Kind of like a, what's that movie? Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
It's like a Fast and Furious type situation. Yeah. Did you ever think that it could happen with scooters? E-scooters or e-bikes. Actually, and this isn't quite exactly what we're talking about. So like what we're talking about there feels more like vigilante justice, possibly, if somebody wronged them, or
just criminal
or just
activity.
criminal activity.
Yeah, hostile criminal activity.
There's also like
harassment.
street takeovers, which is a different thing. This is when people kind of like block out intersections, and then other people are just enjoying an open intersection, maybe free from vehicles.
Interesting, because that's the kind of thing we're used to when we hear about takeovers. Is these like street racer kind of people. They will gather through social media alerts, converge on one major intersection, and kind of own the place, block off traffic.
They'll block out. There'll be like maybe a couple people behind and in front, and they'll watch for cops, and they'll stop cars from driving so that they maybe can like speed or race
or do pop wheelies.
Yes,
I've seen that too with gangs of groups of cyclists, which will literally block both lanes of traffic and slow traffic down to 15, 20 miles an hour on a 55-mile-an-hour roadway. Ugh. So the bikes can have this like half-mile-long, wide-open track to pop wheelies one at a time and roll down the road in safe glory.
And they can just pretend they're in Miami Vice or something.
Something like that, yeah. But now we're seeing it with e-bikes and e-scooters. We had one this weekend in downtown Seattle, and by all accounts, it was a few dozen at the most of this particular gathering.
Here's somebody who's posted about this on TikTok, and this person's name is Jay Cortese on TikTok.
Guys, we're at Pioneer Square right now. If you are on your way, we will be waiting like around 10 to 15 minutes before we take out. We're going to be heading to the Space Needle, and then from there, I'm not too sure, but it looks like people are just arriving. More people are coming. More people are coming by the minute.
I mean, this feels kind of harmless.
It does feel like a ciao.
Like let's all write. You're totally right.
Yeah, right.
Let's blast Italian music.
Yeah, exactly.
Roman holiday.
Yeah, yes. Got our glasses on, scarf in the breeze.
Yes.
There's been instances in numerous cities recently.
Dorkville is what it seems like. Yeah, go ahead.
There have been instances in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Tucson, Arizona, Orlando, Florida. We're talking about between 500-700 e-bikes.
One of these calls went out on social media. Here's the guy who organized it. His name is Johan Vargas. And he went on TikTok, and people just started showing up.
Hey, Minnesota, we're going to have the first Lime Takeover. I'm not playing. Look at this flyer. Today, August 7th, 9 p.m., we're going to meet at Nicollet Park. The actual address is like under it right there. You see it. It's in like 8 hours, bro. I better see everyone there. I repost it, share it. We're all going to be there. I will be there, too. If you got an e-bike, regular scooter, bring it, all right? We're all going to be there. It's going to be part one of the takeovers, all right? Next, we're going to hit the mall, the state fair.
Yeehaw.
Then we're going to go get ice cream.
Well, I'm all for communities getting together to enjoy like interests. I'm all for that.
Nice to make friends.
But these guys, these gals, this group.
Yeah.
When you talk about takeover, you're talking about, owning a roadway with no regard for traffic flow or laws or rules, regulations of the road.
Sure.
Not respecting lights, intersections, all those things, putting other vehicles at risk or in danger. Swarming
blocking
over
access for emergency vehicles that might need to get through, but you're on your like little e-scooter putting around.
And you've got hundreds of them, and they're popping wheelies, and they're being
the wheelies.
They're being I don't want to say reckless, but it is reckless.
That's
what
reckless.
they do.
If you're blocking access for an ambulance, I think that's reckless.
So these takeover things, it's now that they're mechanized. They got e-bikes, and we've been talking for a while about the e-bikes, how they're basically motorcycles.
Spawn of the devil. These e-bikes,
absolutely. And it's one thing when they're used for fun and recreation, and that's great, and they can be dangerous if you don't use them properly, don't have proper training or regulation. When they're used in these gang type or group type settings,
groups. Thank you.
But their intent is malicious, is to harass.
And to
oftentimes.
Yeah, I mean, like, especially when you got 1,000 people. The Minnesota State Patrol, they said this was a quote, an extremely dangerous situation. They reminded the public, they said Lime scooters and e-bikes prohibited for riding on freeways.
Yes, they
are.
You
cannot get up to those speeds.
No, they top that at 30, 35 mile an hour.
If that even. Yeah. I mean, some of these are even slower, especially the ones that you rent from the city. Those aren't going 40 miles an hour. No. And if they are, I wouldn't ride them because nobody's riding a helmet on those things. This guy who set up this one that had 1,000 people show up, he spoke to a local news station.
Hundreds of people flooding the streets of Minneapolis on scooters and e-bikes, and it all started because of this guy, Johan.
Saturday night, a lot of people like to, go out club, party, but why not ride scooters in the city? All your friends.
Later, cameras captured people on scooters on the highway. Minnesota State Patrol said troopers responded after witnesses reported seeing hundreds of people on Lime scooters. Minnesota State Patrol called the situation extremely dangerous, and Minneapolis police say they didn't arrest anyone, but that some of those riders were reckless and disruptive.
I got to pause it there. Why not arrest somebody? If they're being reckless and disruptive and they're breaking the law, arrest them. Send a message to these scooter people.
Do you remember recently there was up in, I want to say the Mill Creek area, there was an incident in which an officer engaged some underage e-bike riders in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And a kid got hurt.
Yep.
And it was deemed that the risk of
injury to the kid by pursuing was greater than the damage the kid might have
than the
done.
penalty of someone riding a bike inappropriately or illegally even. I think that's and it's tough to be a law enforcement officer having to make this decision. You got a kid popping wheelies, ripping through traffic, blocking intersections. Do you chase them down the potential maybe somebody get really hurt on this for a traffic infraction?
Here's the difference in the Mill Creek situation. You're talking about a preteen.
Three kids. Yeah.
A 3-kid preteen group of kids, 12, 13 years old. These are adults. There's 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Blocking freeways.
I hear you.
I'd arrest them. I'd confiscate their scooters. I'd arrest them.
I'm with you.
I'd give them each 10 years in prison. I'd say for every mile that you rode on that e-bike, a year in prison.
You're really sick of these things.
I'm sick of these things. I wouldn't actually get in prison.
No, I hear you.
But I would confiscate the scooters. I'd say you can't have it back.
No, that's a great call.
They're
organized through social media, right?
Yeah.
Back east, they do these takeovers of the Boardwalk in Atlantic City had 5,000 youth show up through an organized social media gathering, and they literally stopped business, stopped traffic, stopped everything.
Mobs.
They mobs. Yeah, and whether property damage is done or there's injuries involved or whatnot, those are case by case situations.
Sure.
So what does law enforcement then have to infiltrate that community, that social media community, monitor these things?
What you need to do,
be where they're going to be, where they're gathering, and show up.
Right. You got to hire young cops who look like they might ride an e-bike. Then you infiltrate this community, and then you work your way in. This
22 Jump Street.
100%.
Yeah.
This is the 22 Jump Street situation.
Yeah.
This is also the Fast and Furious situation.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to get somebody on the inside riding those scooters, setting it up.
Somebody's going to get really hurt doing this kind of reckless gathering, reckless behavior, these takeovers.
Yeah, they should arrest them for sure. You know another weird thing that I've noticed about these e-bikes? Back to the preteens who are riding them. I actually noticed that I do think parents are dialing that back. I'm seeing that a little bit less than I was maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But here's something I have noticed. Have you ever in your life seen a girl riding those? It's always packs of boys. Have you ever seen a girl riding one of these e-bikes?
I don't know that I have. That's a great point.
I don't think I have.
No, it's not in the groups. I've seen a girl on an e-bike.
I don't know if I have. I little groups of little hellion boys.
They're all
riding around.
Young men, yep. Testosterone, run amok.
Isn't that interesting? Girls are too smart to do that. Guys are just such dummies at that age. I was one. I get it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Oh, this is very interesting. The Gates Foundation just made a big donation.
Really? That's nice.
Record-setting donation to University of Washington. The number I'm going to read to you is going to blow your mind. But it has me asking some questions. Why now? Why now? We'll talk about it next. Stick around.
A wildfire disaster unfolding just east of us.
The Spokane fires
destroyed hundreds of homes and forced tens of thousands to evacuate.
Unprecedented stories of loss, devastation, and heartbreak.
It was a beautiful home. It really was.
And there was a lot of terror because it's loud, it's hot.
Join KIRO News Radio in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. There's been a rash of reports of fake contractors ripping homeowners off for roof replacements and other jobs. That's why it's so important to know the company coming to your home. And that's why I put my name behind Valentine Roofing. Every customer can expect the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. So if you think that your roof is on its last legs, if you want to beat the rain and beat the mad rush, Valentine Roofing is now offering priority scheduling for your roof replacement. That means when you call Valentine Roofing today, they can get your job started within 3 weeks of signing the agreement. And they make the process so simple for you. You can expect an estimate with transparent pricing and options that fit into your needs in about an hour. Since 2008, thousands of Western Washington homeowners, like myself, have chosen Valentine for their roofing needs, and you can trust them too. So call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red vans, you know your home is in good hands.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Sprained wrist, ankle twist, broken thumb, can't make a fist, busted knee, surgery, that patch of ice you didn't see.
Where pain starts, Jernavix suzetrigine begins. Jernavix is a non-opioid 50 milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain.
Tendon tear, nose repair, tripping on that broken stair, dislocation, operation, moped crash while on vacation.
Do not take Jernavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jernavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes.
Joint displacement, knee replacement, fell on marbles in the basement, ladder slip, broken hip, that rock climb where you lost your grip.
To learn more about Jernavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit jernavix.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
All right, welcome back to the show. Spike, you tell me if I'm too cynical or if I'm just like, I just never forget things. If I'm a cold person for not acknowledging this amazing gift that the Gates Foundation gave to the University of Washington in the amount of $540.2 million.
540?
540.2
million.
I wonder what the .2. Why not just make it 540 even?
That was postage to carry the check over, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes
a big
sense.
check.
That is a big check. You're totally right.
From space.
The Gates Foundation is giving more than $500 million. Seattle Times reported on this, which is that's also an interesting aspect of the story, but we'll get into that in just a second. Gates Foundation giving more than $500 million to the University of Washington Health Research Institute, says the Seattle Times. This is the largest single donation ever to the school. It arrives at a time that Seattle Times says amid broad uncertainty about government spending on science. It's going to the UW's Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation, and this will keep them in research that they have grown accustomed to for 10 years. I'm surprised. Only 10 years.
For 10 years. Well, you go through some money.
$54 million a year.
Gives you an idea of the
research?
Yeah, it gives the idea of the scale of what federal dollars invested in medical and scientific research. How much of that is for the research community?
Yeah, they get a lot of money. So the Gates Foundation donating all this money. I was wondering, did this feel to you, though, like there might be a little bit of a distraction donation? Like somebody at the Gates Foundation was like, we've been in the news a lot lately, and not for foundation-centric things.
Right.
It's been more for, because I was combing through this article, and I was actually looking for if they have referenced in this article. I didn't see it anywhere. Did you read this? Did they make Did they make any references to his recent connections with Epstein and the whole Gates Foundation?
You don't do that while he's bringing roses to the door. That's not when you ask him about the mistress.
I guess not.
So let me ask you this though. It's a great question. It's not a distraction.
You think this would have happened even if?
No, not at all. It's not. But
it's not related in any possible way to the recent very, very unfavorable press.
It's completely related to the unfavorable press. But it's not a distraction because with this historic donation of $540.2 million,
yes,
we're talking about the scandal again. So it's not a distraction. It's a full-on I own this, mea culpa. It's reputation repair.
They said they did a backroom assessment. They said, we think it's going to cost $540.2 million to make people forgive you for having this association that's very uncomfortable for people.
Can I do that for $300 million? Not even close, sir. Can I do it for $500 million? Almost. You're almost there. 500. How about 540? Almost. Not quite.
Really close.
540.2. Okay, that'll get it done.
That's it.
That'll get it done.
540.2.
You know what? I think there's a lot of factors, all of which you said are absolutely spot on. I think they all contribute to this number, this size of donation, this historic donation, and the timing that it's received.
It's interesting timing.
A lot to do with the fact that federal funding for research has been cut, and that's dangerous. Because research is good, whether it's privately funded or publicly funded. There's a real valid reason for the federal government to invest in medical research. It eventually benefits the citizenry of America.
Now, it's not full cut. It's just uncertainty about whether or not they're going to get the money.
They haven't cut. But
so it's not a cut. It's uncertainty.
They have made massive cuts already. Yeah. And there's talking about even further, because this federal government, this iteration, this iteration of our administration feels that maybe this is something that the private sector can take care of without federal help.
It seems like it
can. So when Gates steps up with $500 million plus, they're kind of got a point.
Seems like it can.
Yeah.
This is interesting, too.
So is it I'm sorry money? Yeah.
It feels like it. Yeah. Seattle Times also had an editorials note at the very, very end of the article. The Gates Foundation underwrites the Seattle Times Education Lab. The Seattle Times maintains editorial control over all of its coverage.
We wrote this, not them.
So, boom. So they sponsor the paper. Yeah. The paper writes very favorable story. Yeah. And this is how local news works, I guess.
We decided not to bring up the adultery thing.
We're not bringing it up because they pay our bills.
Yeah, and they didn't tell us to. We did that on our own.
We certainly would never.
Right.
All right. We got the 1 o'clock rundown coming up next. Stick around. Be right back.
Charlie Harger.
I want to be a watchdog.
From Seattle's Morning News.
Somebody who is not accepting from the government at face value what they're telling you. I might not even be necessarily against a politician, but if I see an issue or a policy that I think are worthy of a conversation, I'm going to bring it up.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's Morning News.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repair, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Did you know every qualifying vehicle at Sunset Auto Family comes with oil changes for life? That's about $150 each, and you get up to 5 a year, saving you thousands over the life of your vehicle. Visit our friends at Sunset Auto Family. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air?
Don't sweat it. Right now, save $50 on any AC service at Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Honest pricing, guaranteed work, 16 family-owned locations, and no appointment needed. Stay cool this summer. Bucky's.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Attacks on vessels intensifying in the Gulf region. The Houthis in Yemen claiming they targeted a cargo ship transporting Saudi military equipment in the Red Sea, killing 6. The ongoing war with Iran, along with inflation, also impacting Americans saddled with debt.
We owe more, and we're not paying our bills on time. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says Americans now owe $1.26 trillion on credit cards, and 12% of us are delinquent in paying even the minimum amount. The high cost of gas, groceries, and household items all contributing. One thing helping those lucky enough to own a home, equity. More people are tapping into that, figuring a refinanced mortgage at a little over 6.5% makes more sense than a credit card balance of 23%. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Severe storms on the move. A tornado warning temporarily grounded planes in Chicago earlier today. That forced evacuation at Midway Airport's air traffic control tower. The same storms now targeting the Mid-Atlantic. This is ABC News. A recall has gone out for one of the world's most popular vehicles.
Toyota is recalling certain recent versions of the Camry over concerns the instrument cluster could fail when starting the car, knocking out power to things like the hazard lights and the seatbelt reminder. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says this increases the risk of a crash. More than 500,000 of the popular sedans are being recalled from the 2025 and 2026 model years. Toyota says it'll notify owners by September 21st, and that dealers will fix the issue through a software update. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
A Maine lifeguard is speaking out after he says a great white shark dragged him 6 feet underwater. Greg Wilford works at Scarborough Beach and was on shark patrol. He says something grabbed the rescue buoy that was strapped to his body and pulled.
Once I realized that it wasn't a boat, I was fighting for my life.
Amazingly, Wilford was unhurt. He also says he ran out and closed the beach. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Seattle's interim police chief answers to the city council about last month's shooting at Seattle Center. More on that straight ahead. But first, a check on your traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Here in Seattle, we cleared roadwork North 5 at the Michigan curve, so now we're back to our normal scattered backup starting just before the West Seattle Bridge up to the Ship Canal Bridge. Just under 20 minutes to get through downtown. South 5 heavy from 85th in the downtown, just under 25 minutes now from Linwood. Southbound 405, you're crowded from South Bellevue down to Northeast 44th near the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton, 15 minutes. South Hill, we've still got this closure on northbound 161 at 132nd Street. All northbound lanes remain blocked. You're backed up to Target, about a mile and a half back up here. And in Shelton, just north of Shelton, a brush fire has closed both directions of State Route 3 near Beale Road. That's a milepost 6. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle police are continuing to investigate last month's deadly Bite of Seattle shooting. Interim Police Chief Andre Sales spoke at a city council committee meeting this morning.
SWAT team responded, I would say, with less than an hour and a half, which sometimes in these situations it can take SWAT teams to assemble about 2 hours, but they responded in a great fashion of time to make sure we can preserve life.
Questions remain about how many suspects are involved. 3 people, including 1 suspect, were killed and 4 others were wounded. A 15-year-old boy was arrested at the scene. A shooting investigation is underway in Spanaway Parkland area after deputies found a person suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded around 4:30 yesterday afternoon to the 1700 block of 168th Street East. The victim was found on the floor inside a shed. Detectives and forensic teams are investigating. If you drive along I-5 through Seattle, you always see that big red R. According to a listing by Northmark, the old Rainier Brewery is officially up for sale. The asking price for the massive piece of Seattle history, $29 million. The Soto campus includes 24 buildings sitting along the Airport Way South corridor. Since the brewery closed, the space has transformed into a hub for local businesses. Most of the 95 unique spaces are already leased to tenants and artists. Renton is taking extreme measures to guarantee its police cameras are not tracking you. King 5 reports the city council voted last night to physically cover up all 23 automated license plate readers. Renton is the first city in the western United States to mandate the physical covers. While officials decide what to use as a cover, other cities have simply used black trash bags. A Seattle teriyaki shop owner is finally getting her money after a 9-month battle with Uber Eats. Fox 13 Seattle reports Joy Kim is waiting on a massive $40,000 payout. The owner of Kyoto Teriyaki says Uber Eats withheld the money from nearly 1,500 orders starting last November. She says she exchanged dozens of emails with support staff and repeatedly updated her banking info to no avail. Uber blames a massive delay on security protocols, saying it needed to verify her identity. A spokesperson now says the company is expediting those payments. And now your KIRO News Radio weather, sunshine and 77 this afternoon. Morning clouds turning partly cloudy, afternoon 75 tomorrow. Same forecast Thursday, a little warmer near 80. And then Friday, we're back to mostly sunny and 82. Sunny and 70 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours left to go. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to get into. We're going to jump into the 1 o'clock rundown in just a sec. But before we do, just a quick heads up. At 1:30, we're going to do question of the day. We're getting a bunch of great responses on this, but I want to give you guys a chance to still get in on this. Earlier in the show, we were talking about Washington. There was a Wallet Hub. You guys know Wallet Hub? It's like a online money site. You can check for...
Sure, yeah.
Credit stuff, and there's all sorts of rankings that they do. And
yeah.
To be honest, what does Wallet Hub even do?
They rank cities.
What does Wallet Hub do?
The only time I've ever been aware of them was when they come out
they come out with rankings.
Yeah.
It's affordability stuff.
Yeah.
I assume they have insights into making things affordable as well.
Yeah, I'm
for
sure
your wallet.
Best way to make your money go the furthest. I'm sure Wallet Hub has,
You probably have recommendations for credit cards that you should get. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, they come out with the ranking. People then report on the ranking. The reason we're interested in it is because Washington is number 33 on the overall list, and number 1 is Idaho. And the way that they quantify these numbers is they look at all the different factors related to what it means to live in a state. So taxes,
the affordability of housing,
access to beautiful parks,
recreation and leisure,
job availability, all the different things,
health care.
Yeah, if
education,
you want to
all the
be
things,
near a hospital.
Yeah, all the things that when you're deciding where you want your family to live the rest of their lives, where you're going to put down roots.
So Washington is number 33. Oregon's even lower, isn't Oregon 42? Is that right? Do I have that right?
Oh, yes.
Oregon,
yes. Behind Kentucky.
Oregon 42, Idaho, number 1. What was number 2? New Jersey?
Jersey.
And
what struck my factor, Washington State was ranked number 50 with regard to safety.
Yeah, we're very
of
last.
Their state. New Jersey was number 1 in safety. New Jersey is the safest country in America.
Have they not seen Sopranos?
Have they? Has New Jersey? I guess New Jersey's changed.
I guess it's
I
gotten
know Washington
safer.
has.
Well, the question that we ask the audience is, if you were choosing, let's say that you were just looking at a map of the United States right now, and you were making a decision, where do I want to spend my life? And for all the different criteria that you might consider important to yourself, whether it's housing costs, whether it's education rankings, whether it's access to public parks or big cities or whatever it might be, whatever that is for you, we're interested in talking about that at 1:30. You can let us know. 888-973-5476. Spike and I will both also give our opinions on where we would choose. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. But right now we got the 1 o'clock rundown, so let's jump right into it. The way that this works, top stories coast to coast, things that people are clicking on, the most viewed stories. The number 1 story that we're seeing kind of across the board on all the different news websites and all the major media outlets and even all the various websites that we check and social media and all that junk is vaccine rules kept popping up there.
Well, the executive order signed yesterday by President Trump.
Yes.
Taking the standard issued MMR vaccine that kids are required to
Measles, mumps, rubella.
Exactly. And the Trump administration is through executive order saying that now you only have to get these 3 individually.
They're separating it into 3 vaccines instead of just a massive dose.
And spreading it out over between a year to a year and a half, as opposed to all in one.
Yeah. What do you think on this? Because there have so I saw there was a Seattle Times article that kind of talked about how Washington is not going to be affected by this because Washington is part of that West Coast Alliance, where they're basically saying like we're not going to follow any federal stuff. We just want to do We just want to do our own health thing, and we're going to follow the science of the West Coast.
Well,
right?
they're going to follow the science. It's not
of the West Coast.
No, it's not.
It's called the Western Health Alliance.
The Western Health Alliance is of Washington, Oregon, and California.
Okay.
Have put together Western Health Alliance to kind of counteract the messaging coming from this administration with regard to vaccines in particular.
Which they disagree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do disagree. So do scientists. So do every major
every scientist.
Yeah,
Some
every
scientists.
major scientific study has shown there's. Here, let me say this. Before we get too far over my skis. President Trump yesterday made these statements about the rise of autism in this country.
Okay.
And he said back when
I think
kids...
we have some audio.
Do we have President Trump?
Okay,
great.
It says autism is a reason for this vaccine schedule change. Let me play it here.
Decades ago, children received only a small fraction of the vaccines required today. In those times, people were much healthier. And of course, the high rates of autism now observed did not exist. So there's a reason for such epidemic rates of autism. And we're going to bring it back to much closer to where it was. Well, we do not know exactly what the cause is with respect to autism. It is essential to our research efforts that we have the very best vaccine recommendations in the entire world. So we're reducing them. We're changing it to visits over a period of a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. That's based in no science. No science.
Are you interested in autism stuff?
Sure, absolutely.
Are you interested in the history of how it's identified?
No, not really.
Okay.
What I know is
that interested.
well, sure. Go ahead. Go right ahead. Make a ridiculous point. Go ahead.
That's not nice.
No, well, I mean, what a question.
We're having a conversation here. Be nice.
Tell me about why are there more autism cases now than there were?
Well,
50
I don't
years
know.
ago?
Do you know?
Yeah, I do. Actually.
What's the reason?
Well, from what I've seen and read,
okay,
we have defined what autism is.
Okay,
much more in depth than we did 20, 30, 50 years ago.
Okay. It's quite a bit more. It's quite a bit more prevalent today than it was even when I was in my early 20s.
So do you think there are more cases of autism than there were, or there are just more people with autism being diagnosed with autism?
It's probably
today?
a little of both.
I don't think it's a little of both.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think how people's psychological makeup has changed over the last 50 years to dictate more cases of autism.
But do you know what causes autism?
I don't.
Okay, well,
please tell me. Sorry, I apologize. This story.
You're taking your anger at Trump and you're directing it at me. You and I are just two buddies having a conversation.
You're right.
I
did that, and I apologize for that.
Yes, let's set that aside.
Sure. I don't want to judge you by this clown show in the Oval Office yesterday. But go on, tell me why.
I'm interested because there has been a giant increase in the prevalence of autism. And I don't know the answer to that. I'm not a scientist. You're not a scientist.
I'm not a scientist.
You've already expressed that you don't know the answer to that.
I don't know. No, I don't.
In 2000, it was 1 in 150 cases. 1 in 151 people would be identified as
25 years ago.
Just 25 years ago. Do you know what it is today?
What is it?
It's 1 in 30.
Okay.
That's a big increase.
It is.
So possibly it's identifying better. Maybe they've come up with better ways to identify. I don't feel like we were living in the Stone Ages, though, 20 years ago. Do you?
No, not at all.
Okay. So is it possible that there is something that is affecting how people are getting autism since we don't know what causes it? This is just a question that I have. I'm not saying that I have the answers to this.
No, I hear you. But see, I don't think something is causing autism in a greater rate than it was 25 years ago.
So
I think autism is being recognized at a greater rate than it was 25 years ago. I think the people who are on the spectrum today, we're just seen as a little goofy or a little different. Or a little, he's got a quirky thing going about him.
Sure.
25 years ago, he wasn't diagnosed as autistic.
You don't think it could be some of each? You don't think there could be more causal things and it's also better at identifying?
There may be causal effects of an increased number of autism, but one thing it is not is vaccines.
But you don't know that, though.
I do. Well, every medical study shown says there is no relation between vaccinations and autism. There are, dozens and dozens and dozens. So when the Oval Office says, there are more today, and we don't know why, but we just know there are more vaccines today, that is just irresponsible and dangerous information to be spreading to the public.
Here's the interesting thing is we're all having conversations about vaccines now in a way that we never were before the pandemic. There was just this general consensus that people trusted the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, for anybody. I had to look that up before, so that's
me. What CDC was?
That's what CDC stands for.
Okay,
there was just this general consensus that we trust the people who are in charge.
Yeah.
They know better because they're
They went
immunologists,
to
they went to
studied,
school, all these things.
They did research.
Yes, yes.
They read books and did studies.
Of course. Yeah. They're not Spike and Jake who don't know anything.
Or Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who also doesn't know jack squat.
Well, he knows more than you and I do.
Not by much.
I would say quite a bit more. Yeah. He spent his career litigating these things.
He's not an expert by any stretch of the imagination.
Would you say he has more insight than you do?
He does, but I wouldn't make the call for federal health.
Here's the question I would have. Is it okay, though, for people to have questions about vaccines, given how many vaccines are now offered? Because we're talking, this article is talking about the childhood schedule.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about the increase in the childhood schedule? Does that bother you at all?
The fact that
we're giving so many more now than we were, let's say that when your kids were young. There's a lot more that are given now than when your kids were young.
I would say, it's a question worth asking. Why the need for more vaccinations today?
Here's my question. Every time somebody talks about this, it's written as such, like in the Seattle Times piece. The Western Health Alliance, where we know science better than everybody else. It's written. Well, no, but that's true. It's written from a perspective of you have to trust us, and even questioning it makes you a suspect person. As a parent who recently had a child, I have 4 kids, but I have a 2-year-old, so he's in this very young stage still.
Sure, of course.
We're like right in the meat of, every few visits, so we go to the doctor, we're like, is this a shot time? Because boy, doesn't he hate getting these shots. You remember those days.
Of course, yeah, you bet. It's terrible. You take your kid and they get 7 pricks in one day. It's terrible.
When I was born, they were immunizing with vaccines against like 4 diseases in 1983. Do you know what they're doing right now as of 2024?
How many?
There's 17.
Yeah, that's what it was with my kids. Yeah, it's pretty close.
So is every single one of those like what's the one with hepatitis? Is that one that you would for sure want to have given to your tiny little perfect infant?
Absolutely.
Right up front, a sexually transmitted disease?
You know why?
Why?
Because it's recommended by the American Association of Pediatricians. Doctors who have spent their whole lives, careers, over generations and generations, do research and they recommend these things.
Okay, let me ask you questions about that. Did you see the recent story about Fauci and the text messages regarding pregnancy and the vaccine for the COVID vaccine? Did you see that story?
No, not yet. Go ahead.
It's interesting because I do think there is just back to the CDC stuff that we were talking about a second ago. There is a general question mark that people now have.
Some people.
You don't have any questions for Fauci?
No.
Really?
Absolutely.
None at all?
I trust him with my life.
Okay, let me play you a clip of his. Here's a clip of his. He said no red flags during pregnancy. Now, if you and your wife are a little bit older, so you guys are out of the baby stage, but if you were younger and your wife were younger and you guys were in the middle of having a baby right now, Are you telling me that during that whole pandemic thing, you wouldn't have been worried at all about getting a vaccine, let's say in 2021, right after they were brand new?
You'd have concerns. Sure, of course you would.
Okay, well, that's a fair question to ask.
Yeah, but I'm not going to vilify a scientist who spent his whole life working for the greater good of public health.
I didn't say to vilify, but isn't it okay to question? No, I said question. You turned it into vilify. I didn't say vilify. I said question.
Well, I guess when Fauci's being trotted out and prosecuted and persecuted by Republicans in Congress, when people are making vaccination decisions based on their political beliefs or affiliations, which they are these days, red states have a lower percentage of vaccination rates than
Did that
blue
not
states
happen during Biden's administration? There was no political decision-making on vaccines. It was all science.
It was political, of course, but that wasn't from the Biden administration. That was from people being told through social media and through their elected officials they couldn't trust scientists. They couldn't trust public health institutions.
Let me play you this clip. This is Fauci.
Sorry, I apologize for getting short with you, and I really
I don't
apologize.
mind it. I think
it's not directed at you.
I don't mind. I know you don't. There's
these guys
there's
are
a boogeyman
dangerous.
behind me named Trump, and you're looking at him.
He's
and
not
you're
a
directing
boogeyman.
at me.
He's not a boogeyman. He's an uninformed.
Let me play you this clip. This is Fauci during one of many.
We may not get to the second story.
We'll get to it. We're fine. We'll do it quickly. This is Fauci during one of his many appearances. There was a lot of people. I had met my wife and I. We had a baby after the pandemic, but we were nervous because at the time we were thinking about having our fourth, and we were thinking like, is this the best time to get pregnant? Because we don't know how this whole thing's going to play out. There's a new vaccine that's being introduced. It's being rushed through the system. People are having questions about that. You have all these different, possible problems with the vaccine, and we want to make sure, like, if you're going to get into a pregnancy, which is already the most nerve-wracking thing a couple can do, because you have so much of your hopes and dreams and love tied up into this tiny little miracle, you want to make sure that you're giving it the safest chance. And so the question was, is it safe to get a vaccine while you're pregnant? And that was a big question. Fauci countlessly went on TV countless times and said, yes, absolutely no problem.
Approximately 20,000 pregnant women have been vaccinated with no red flags, as we say. And this is being monitored by the CDC and the FDA.
Rochelle Walensky, director of CDC, she was also saying the same thing. Somebody said, hey, is there any bad time during pregnancy, in the height of all the COVID hysteria, is there a bad time maybe to get the vaccine? Is it possible to wait until after?
Is it safe to get vaccinated while you're breastfeeding?
It absolutely is safe to get vaccinated. So I would say if you are thinking about getting vaccinated, there is no bad time to get vaccinated. Get vaccinated while you're thinking about having a baby, before you're thinking about having a baby, while you're pregnant with your baby, or after you've delivered your baby. There is no bad time.
Okay, I have countless clips of the two of them saying similar things.
So what's the point?
So my point is, there's a text chain that was just released. Now, is this political? Possible. Is it?
Okay. Oh, it's possible.
Possible.
Bordering on probable. Go on.
Do you think it's relevant that in private conversations between these two people that just said there's no red flags, they were personally saying, hey, you know what? There are miscarriage questions about getting the vaccine. Would that bug you as somebody who was talking about or thinking about getting pregnant during the pandemic?
I would say this. What people say in their private lives and what they say in public, let me finish my point.
There are scientists who are making... People are not, if you or I saying private things, it's different because they have a lot more weight. When they go out in public and say, hey, everybody is safe to get these vaccines.
Are they saying in private text that it's not safe?
They're saying there are questions about whether or not miscarriages are happening because of these vaccines.
And they have to weigh a global pandemic, a novel pandemic that no one knew anything about. They were learning about it on the fly.
This is in 2021. This is well after it first started.
No, it wasn't. It was well after it started, but they were learning about it as it went through, because viruses change and morph.
Understood.
The first iteration of COVID was different than the iteration of COVID that came out in 2022.
Yes.
Right. So your question you're asking is, can we trust these people?
Yes.
I say yes, we can, but let me ask you a question.
No, let me finish the text messages about the pregnancy here, and then we'll get back to you.
Okay. No, but you've made your point.
No, my point is, if you have somebody telling everybody that something is totally safe, and this idea of vaccines, even questioning a vaccine is vilifying it. You can't question vaccines because that makes you a bad person to question it. And at the same time, he's questioning them in private with the people whose job it is to go out there and give these recommendations. Isn't that something that we should all be made aware of? If he's the guy who's going out and saying, there's absolutely no problems during your pregnancy, you never have to worry about it, get them.
Yeah.
And then privately he's saying, well, there is this question about miscarrying your child.
Right. Okay.
Somebody, I think, has a right to take offense to that.
I wouldn't agree with that.
You don't think that somebody has a right to take offense to that?
No,
Somebody might lose a child because of a vaccine they're recommended getting? A healthy young individual who's getting pregnant. Go ahead.
When the public face of the CDC has to make public statements, they gather all the available information, and they weigh this risk against this benefit.
Yeah.
You've got a global pandemic that took down 8 million people. 1.2 million Americans died from it. At that point in time, their best education, their best informed decisions were to tell folks take the vaccination. Are there still unanswered questions about potential risk in other areas? Yes.
Whole lot of them.
Does it benefit the greater good of humanity to say, look, we really don't know this point or the other point?
Specifically with pregnant women, is what I'm saying here. I'm not talking about elderly people with other comorbidities. I'm talking about young, healthy, pregnant women. If you sat them down and said, hey, here's this one path. You get this COVID vaccine, and you're going to have probably less of an experience with COVID, of which you already probably won't have much of an experience because you're young and healthy. But you do have an increased chance of miscarrying your child. How many women do you think would get that vaccine?
Did they say you have an increased chance, or they say there are questions?
That's exactly what he's talking about.
They say there are questions.
For pregnant women considering getting the vaccine, are you aware of any data or theoretical reasoning why vaccinating early versus late in pregnancy would be preferred, and any sense of when there will be more robust data on vaccine risk in pregnant women? Fauci then writes back, I asked around a bit more with the issue came up that you need to be aware of. Since many people have significant ketosis.
Ketosis.
That's not ketosis. It's CYTOKINES. Cytokines?
Yes, it's like, okay.
I don't know what that is. Again, I'm not a scientist. Storm and fever after the second dose. This theoretically could be associated with miscarriage in the first trimester.
Could be. He's not saying they cause miscarriages.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's a question. And if it's a question that risks losing your child, that's something that people should be made aware of.
That's fair. That's a fair thing to say.
Totally fair.
So does that give you pause with trusting the Center for Disease Control?
Of course, because
really?
The people running it said, I'm not telling you that information. If that doesn't bug you, I don't get it. But that's the 1 o'clock rundown.
Run over.
All right, we had two other stories, which we don't have time to get to.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. All right, we'll get to your question of the day when we come back. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
KIRO Newsradio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
Data centers, good, bad. Cleellum deciding they're going to put a moratorium on it, and they'll set them up somewhere else. Yes, it's only 70 jobs, but if you could tax the hell out of the place, kick out some money, believe me, a little town of Cleellum, my little town, could certainly use it. Sometimes people just don't want it in their own backyard. They're driven by their own selfishness.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
Hey, Jay Skorheim here. I want to tell you a story. You find a used vehicle you like, but you keep shopping just to be sure. But by the time you come back, it's gone. Or worse, you buy it, you get it home, and you realize it's just not right for you and your family. But it's too late. Or is it? Sunset's 48-hour used vehicle exchange means that if you take a used vehicle home and have second thoughts, just bring it back. Pick out something else. Simple as that. No pressure, no fear of making a mistake, no FOMO. And when you combine that with Sunset's oil changes for life, repairs for life, and warranty protection for life, you're covered from every angle for as long as you own it. This is the biggest no-brainer in a world of no-brainers. Check it out at Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner, Sunset Ford of Sumner, or Sunset Kia of Auburn. Might as well pick out a vehicle while you're there. You've got nothing to lose. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. It's our 49th birthday, and we're celebrating by giving you the gifts. Outstanding savings on saltwater hot spring spas, free Bluetooth music, and interest-free financing for 3 years. Plus, exciting savings on endless pool swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges. How's that for a birthday to remember? Ends August 24th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repairs, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to PendergastLaw.com. That's PendergastLaw.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Seattle's interim police chief says investigators are still working to determine whether a third suspect was involved in last month's deadly Bite of Seattle shooting. Councilmember Rob Saka questioned interim chief Andre Sales.
Is there a killer on the loose? Yes or no?
Speaking with my detectives this morning, we're combing through some warrants and looking at some things. We still have to comb through some video surveillance that was there. I can't say yes or no.
The shooting at Seattle Center last month left 3 people dead and 4 others injured. A 15-year-old boy was arrested. Tacoma animal control officers rescued 23 more cats Monday from a sailboat anchored off Owen Beach, bringing the total now to 53. Shelby Boyd is with Tacoma Police.
The animal control supervisor said that he would consider them in okay condition, maybe some skin, fur issues, but yeah, generally speaking, they're in okay condition.
2 cats are still believed to be on board. The cats were found living in unsafe conditions, many frightened and malnourished. Well, stocks fall this afternoon as oil rises and hopes for a U.S.-Iran peace deal fade. The Dow down 145, S&P 500 down 22, NASDAQ down 153. If you're planning to travel between Seattle and Portland this week, expect delays and schedule changes on Amtrak. The railroad says a disruption caused by a recent warehouse fire near Portland will continue through Friday. Bus service is replacing many train trips, and some departures have been canceled. These travelers, who had very different experiences, spoke with KIRO 7.
With no bus service from Vancouver to Portland, I don't understand that. There's no way to get from Vancouver to Portland or without paying $75 for an Uber.
Luckily, just got the notification that the train officially got canceled. So the folks here are fantastic. Amtrak came through for the win.
Amtrak urges travelers to check train status online or through the Amtrak app before heading out. Now let's check out your KIRO real-time traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union. North 5 into Seattle, we've got scattered backups between the Michigan Curve now and Ship Canal. Plan on 20 minutes to clear this. Once you do get over the Ship Canal Bridge, it's clear all the way to Bellingham. South 5 slows from Lake City Way in the downtown. South 405 getting pretty heavy now from South Bellevue down to Northeast 44th near the VMAC where we have road work. Bellevue to South Center is at 25 minutes. North 405 slows from South Center through the Renton S curves. We do have some good news. A few earlier closures have all recently cleared, including northbound 161 at 132nd Street in South Hill. Both directions of State Route 3 just north of Shelton and milepost 6. And just south of Quilcene, Highway 101 has reopened near Falls View Campground. That's milepost 299 where a semi went down over the embankment. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. And now your weather, sunny and 77 for today's high. Tomorrow, those morning clouds will hang around a little longer, partly cloudy and 75 Wednesday. Similar forecast Thursday, a high near 80. And then Friday, back to mostly sunny and 82. Blue skies and 71 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is the time of day where we get to reflect on the question of the day. And today we were talking about a Wallet Hub ranking that came out, I believe just yesterday, ranking all of the states and Washington. Best state to live in, 50 is the worst, number 1 is the best. Number 1 is Idaho. When you factor in everything, cost of living, housing, taxes, recreation, outdoor activities, all those different things, Idaho was number 1. Number 2, surprisingly, was New Jersey. And number 3 was Wisconsin.
It's funny because, Jersey's number 2 in the nation, but affordability-wise, how expensive it is to live in New Jersey, they were 49th. So the rest of the numbers were almost all top 10. And then number 1 in safety in New Jersey.
So safety, it sounds like, kind of is the big factor with New Jersey, if it is so expensive to live in.
Education was high in New Jersey, which was surprising to me.
And why?
Health was a lot of good health resources in New Jersey, which was surprising to me.
Yeah, and Washington ranked 33. And the reason that Washington got dragged down is, you notice, Washington was number 50 in safety. Very, very bad.
That's just a jaw-dropping number right there. And they were also number 39 in affordability.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Actually, no, not affordability. The economy. I apologize. The economy.
Let's see here.
No, I'm wrong. It's
affordability is 36.
36. Economy was 9th.
Economy is 9th.
Right.
Education is 19.
Yep.
Quality of life rank is 10, and then safety is 50.
There's the factors, real quick before I move on, the factors that go into the safety ranking in Washington.
Yeah.
Property crime, overall violent crime.
Yep.
And number of police per capita for the residents of the state. We were just about
That's a big
dead
one.
last.
We do stories all the time. Like our biggest city is Seattle. And you talk about how they don't have enough police officers. And then you talk about events recently like Bye to Seattle where you literally have a shooting. You have a mass shooting. You have 3 people die, but one of them was possibly involved. You had a police response that was good, and they quickly on site reacted.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it have been better if there was a lot of police there?
Sure,
to prevent it in the first place? Absolutely.
They said the following Monday was that every event moving forward this summer, there'll be a higher presence of police.
It's going to be more
involved.
police.
You bet.
So we asked you guys, we said, what criteria do you use when picking out a state? Like, let's say that you were at the beginning of your life, or it doesn't really have to be the beginning. Wherever stage you're at in life, what are you looking at to decide where you want to live? What for you, Spike? Before we get into some of these answers, what would it be for you?
Well, for me, it was a job. I moved here for a job, so it wasn't like I was looking for where I would live. I moved here for a job.
And how old were you?
26.
You're young.
Yeah.
Life is an adventure at 26.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really care where you end up. You're just on the ride.
My kid is my recently married daughter and son-in-law. Their number one factor on where they're going to spend their future is affordability. Where can they afford to start a family?
Yeah.
He's a kind of a career where he can work from anywhere. He's in a profession that allows him transitive, I guess, or transitive properties. He can do his job anywhere, kind of a guy. So is my daughter. But they're worried about where can they afford to start a family.
Yeah. Also, a big factor for a lot of people, not only with your directly, like where can I buy a house to raise a family, to have the quality of life that
where will I have to fly to visit my grandkids is my greatest fear.
That's the other thing. Is like, where can my kids, like thinking about like 15 years down the road. My oldest son right now is 11. And when, let's say that maybe he's 15 to 20 years away from having a family of his own.
Right.
Where's he going to be able to afford to raise that family? Now, I don't know what kind of job he's into. I don't know what he's going to be doing at that time.
Yeah.
But when you just, like, all things being equal, you look at what states are going to be the most open for buying a home, for taxes, for all these different things. Washington quickly falls down that list, which is why they're 33 on this thing.
Yeah.
Let's get to a few of these.
What were yours? If you don't, would you want to share? Because I never got to ask you yours.
So mine would be proximity to family.
Okay.
That would be like probably
it doesn't have to be the 5 criteria, 6 criteria they listed out.
Yeah,
what's important to you? We want to know.
What's important is we really like being close to grandparents.
Sure.
I did not grow up. When I grew up, my parents moved up here from Los Angeles. They lived down in all my family is in California. My extended family.
Okay.
So I saw friends who had cousins who lived nearby, and I was like, oh my gosh,
right?
You guys don't know how lucky you are. I only see my cousins twice a year.
If you're lucky.
If I'm lucky, and I only see my grandparents maybe 2-3 times a year.
Right.
My kids see my parents. We live 5 minutes from my parents.
What a gift.
My 11-year-old son is doing work on my parents' property 3 days a week. He's mowing and he's cutting weeds. He's with Grandpa. He's like Grandpa's little work buddy this summer. And those are memories he's going to have for the rest of his life.
And neither of my kids at my side of the family's on the East Coast. My wife's side of the family's down in the Southwest. Absolutely.
Yes.
You called it. If we see them once every other year, if we're lucky.
So I'm willing.
We have to pick which side of the family we get to go visit this year.
Proximity to family is worth cost to me. Like, it's even more important to me than the high cost of living, which Washington, has in spades.
Oh yeah.
It's very expensive. It would be great if we had cheaper taxes. I would like that. I'm very, like just driving through Montana and Idaho recently.
You're looking around, aren't you, buddy?
You can
I hear you, man. I do it every time I travel.
But how can you not?
Yeah.
You can get a lot for a lot less.
Yep. I go to see my family on the East Coast, and I'm driving to the Eastern Shore of Maryland. These little towns, I'm like, I could
100%. Yeah, you drive through Virginia, and you're just like, you could buy a house for how much?
Right. I can't put a garage at my place for that.
$250,000? That's insane.
Exactly, with land.
Yeah, with land. And an apple orchard. It's crazy.
A cornfield.
Let's get to some of these. People have opinions on this. Let me start this off. Irene from Tacoma. She's a very simple person. She says, no states where you have to plug your car in the winter. I assume she's talking about an electric car.
No. Oh, is she?
Oh,
I think she's talking about places that are sub-zero on a regular
basis.
Talking
about like one of those engine heaters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So she's not a Minnesota gal.
I don't know how people do that. I don't know how people, go out there with hot water and de-ice their car every morning. I don't know how they do it, man.
Don't de-ice your car with hot water. Shatter your window.
Well, I'm talking about the locks.
Oh, okay.
And that's how old I am.
Have you ever seen people pour hot water on their window?
Oh, and it just goes, yeah,
breaks it.
Bye. Yeah, I hear you, man. Matt in Seattle says, when I was younger, where I lived was primarily driven by job, as we all can say, job opportunities, recreational opportunities. This is what brought me to Seattle and neighborhoods like Capitol Hill. As we approached raising a family, those first two remained the same, but neighborhood change, good schools, thus moving to Finney Ridge and Fremont. As we approach retirement, the focus will shift to recreation.
There you go.
Access to a good international airport, thus splitting time between Seattle and the San Juans.
Boy, Matt sounds like a pretty...
He's really got it done.
He's got a...
Yeah, Matt, you got a guest room, buddy?
You've done well for yourself, Matt.
Done,
We're splitting our time between Seattle and San Juan. It's good for you.
Oh, don't get me started on the San Juans. I was up there last weekend. Oh.
You were at a pretty nice
last weekend. I think everybody
Are you allowed to share? You're probably not allowed to share.
No, I can give some detail. We'll get that later. Let's get into
Okay. Brett from Olympia says, in answer to your question of the day, I sure wish I would have listened to your show prior to moving up here in 2017 with my family when we moved here from Southern California. quote, please don't, or parenthetical, please don't bag on me for being a New York City to Southern California to Pacific Northwest transplant. He says, we used education as a top criteria for the move because our kids were elementary school age. Back then, the schools here were still seen as delivering a big bang for the buck of living up here. But boy, how things have changed. The topography, geography, and outdoors, that's a plus. But seeing how the legislators and lawmakers and so-called elected officials in this state have been, I wish I wouldn't have moved here.
I'm so sorry. Brett, you improved your life every step of the way. New York, Southern Cal here. We let you down, Brett. As a state legislative body, we let you down.
Sadly, the Pacific Northwest has caught up to those other places on the affordability index.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, we're real close to like Los Angeles levels. Not quite. Los Angeles is crazy.
Nuts.
New York City, still crazy.
You know what's beauty though about the state of Washington? It's very hard to buy a home here in the Seattle region.
Yeah.
But man, you go a little further north, go a little further east. Affordability is not such an issue.
Yeah.
It's a car ride to the grandparents, not a plane ride.
I would say the statewide median home price, it's still $600,000.
Are we six as a median?
As a median. Oregon's is $490, Idaho's is $450, and Montana's is $500.
And Idaho is the number one place to move into
Idaho
America.
is $450,000.
7th ranked economy.
They got a flat state income tax of 5.3%.
Ranked 3rd in safety in Idaho. You know why? Gun owners.
They don't own a lot of guns. Their gas tax, also Idaho's gas tax, 33 cents a gallon. Washington's, 59. Come on, folks. Come on. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got feeding time next. This is going to be a fun one. I hope you like cheese. We're going to be eating a lot of cheese in our feeding time.
Cheese in your feed?
This is a crazy story. Actually, I had no idea something like this existed. You're not going to believe it either. Stick around. We'll tell you about it.
A wildfire disaster unfolding just east of us.
The Spokane fires
destroyed hundreds of homes and forced tens of thousands to evacuate.
Unprecedented stories of loss, devastation, and heartbreak.
It was a beautiful home. It really was.
And there was a lot of terror because it's loud, it's hot.
Join KIRO News Radio in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
Hi, Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. If you're at the point of your life where you need to think about assisted living or memory care for yourself or maybe a parent, I want you to consider this, Ageless Living. Go to one of the many Ageless Living locations in Seattle and take a look around. What you're going to find is luxury accommodations, resort-style amenities, incredible chef-prepared meals, and the kind of care and attention that your family deserves. Ageless Living ranked best of Western Washington and #1 senior living community in America by Seniorly Magazine. After over 60,000 communities surveyed nationwide, Ageless was #1. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit today.
Hey, buying a used car can be stressful. Sunset Auto Family takes that stress away with a 48-hour used vehicle exchange policy. You pick it out, you drive it for a couple days. If it's not the right fit, they'll help you find one that is. You just get more at Sunset, and people do like that.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Guys, if your energy is down, your workouts feel harder, and your drive isn't what it used to be, it may not be aging. It could be low testosterone. At Revive Health here in Seattle, the first step is simple: a free testosterone exam and consultation with an experienced medical provider. We'll review your labs, symptoms, and overall health to determine if testosterone therapy could help improve your energy, strength, and performance. And for a limited time, qualified patients can get started with a free month of TRT. Revive has helped over 120,000 men since 2011 improve energy, sleep, mood, and confidence. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Get answers and take control of your health. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivehealth.com. Revive Health. Elevate your vibe. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact Revive for full details.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find sound pain solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS. Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's feeding time, which means we get to see what the social media feeds are shoving down our throats. Spike, mine is just, it's a delicious one.
Okay.
If you're lactose intolerant, you might want to turn the station.
Hello.
But do you want to get to yours first? Do you have one that you'd like to discuss?
This one just came on like gangbusters in the last 24 hours. I guess that's the whole point of feeding time, right?
Yeah, it's just,
now it's flooding my...
It's right now. It's happening right now.
This Saturday, the Seahawks open their preseason schedule at home against the Dallas Cowboys, and you'll be able to enjoy all that Lumen Field has to offer. Great stadium. The Buffalo Bills had been playing for years and years and years and years at an antiquated stadium, and they built a brand new, beautiful $2 billion ballpark. Woo! They debuted it Saturday night.
Jeez Louise.
Right? The Bills had a little open practice, I think it was, on Saturday night, invited people into the new $2 billion Buffalo Stadium for the first time. And, the reviews are horrific because Laura, I think, has some pictures we can share.
Oh, no.
People, first off, this is a view. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can see this. If not, just look at any social media feed. You will find these. Buffalo's new stadium, when you are selling season tickets to a new park, these days you can go online and log on and see the view from your seat.
Yeah.
Before you buy a seat license.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Before you even pay for your tickets, you got to buy like a seating license for the right to buy your season tickets in that chair. A licensing agreement for season ticket holders.
Doesn't make sense to
me.
An additional
fee. So folks got in there and they spent a ton of money for the licensing fee and then the season tickets themselves, looking at the field. And when they get down and sit in their seats, there are seats in the stadium where literally everything, east of the 30-yard line is
this
blocked.
a seat right
That's
here?
That's a seat.
You're blocked
a high
off by
dollar
like
seat. There's
railing.
a guardrail right in front of this seat here. There's a luxury box that extends past where your season ticket is. So you're watching a guy. He's at the 10. He's at the 30. He's gone. You can't see him anymore. Half the field is obscured permanently.
No red zone for you.
No red zone for you.
Yeah.
There are all over the ballpark. There are seats like this.
That's horrible.
And they were sold people under false pretenses. They didn't realize that the view they had was going to be obstructed. They were showing a clear view of the field.
Oh, so
in their
the seat
digital
that I'm
preview.
seeing right now, which is blocked by an owner's box.
Yeah, when it
the
was
owner's
shown,
box was not in the picture that you
when it was
sold.
shown online, what the view from your seat will be.
Yeah,
You
that's
saw the
horrible.
whole field from because it was generated through AI. You know, they can take every. They don't sit in a camera
Sure.
in every seat. Buffalo's got to redo some of the stadium. They've promised to make this right with people.
Well, they
They're going to take
absolutely
I mean,
should.
yeah, or say let's talk about lowering the price of that season.
Or you buy your seat back from them and say, like, all right, well,
I'll sit somewhere else.
Catch a game some other time.
But I thought that was a $2 billion stadium.
I hope that the Seahawks don't give in and try to build a new stadium. They better keep looming.
Did you see where the new potential owner, the owner who's waiting for league approval?
Yeah.
Weighed in on the whole turf or grass debate.
What'd he say?
On social media, and I love this guy's a multi-billionaire, and I forget his name, I apologize. Multi-billionaire. Because the debate is, since World Cup, should they play on grass?
Yeah.
Should they play on turf?
Yeah.
He said, I will defer to the people who know football to make that decision.
As in the players?
As in the front office, the top medical experts.
If all the players want whatever mix was on FIFA, why not just give it to them? I did it. I number crunched.
Yeah.
It's less than $2 billion to convert every stadium, every field to this type of grass.
By all accounts, it's better for the game. It's better for the athletes.
It stretches their careers out. You don't get all these stupid injuries. Yeah. These guys are worth a ton of money and they're hurting themselves. Yeah. Let them play. All right, real fast. I got to get to mine. Have you ever heard of a cheese bank? Have you ever heard of this?
Bank?
A cheese bank.
No.
In Italy, there is a bank where they, since 1953, have been using wheels of Parmesan cheese. This is not a joke. This is a real thing. Local dairy farms have been able to use wheels of Parmigiano Reggiano, or however you say the thing. You can give these wheels to the cheese bank. They will hold it as collateral for low-interest loans.
And you borrow from the bank, and when you pay your loan back, you get your
cheese back. Because these wheels of cheese are worth like $1,000 a piece.
They know it's their cheese.
They have, in these banks, they have thousands and thousands. They have 500,000 wheels of Parmesan cheese worth more than 300 million euros.
Wow.
And they give out loans. The problem is it's pretty hot in Italy right now. And what happens to cheese when it's in the heat?
No way. Wait a minute.
It's melting.
This isn't an air-conditioned vault. This is $500,000 euros worth of cheese.
$500,000 euros worth of cheese, and it's melting right in front of their face. And they're trying to figure out what to do.
It's a new phenomenon in the European area, these heat waves.
But
it's relatively new.
Why don't they get an AC?
AC, right?
Put an AC in. I know you're part of the European Union, but you're still allowed to put an AC in to save the cheese, right?
I hope.
Good golly.
The cheese is collateral. Cheese bank. I love
Wouldn't it be fun? The
feed.
pictures are crazy. Go and look up Cheese Bank, Italy. Okay. It's just, you've never seen anything like it. It's a bank of cheese. I'm lactose intolerant, so I would just.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I would just walk through.
I'm planning my next vacation. This is gorgeous.
Stare at the cheese, but I wouldn't eat it.
Look at that wall of cheese.
It's crazy. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
I've lived here almost my entire life.
Seattle's morning news host, Charlie Harger.
I love Seattle. I love that I'm able to raise my children here.
Hear Charlie's 7:35 commentary every morning on Seattle's morning news.
So when I see something that I think might need some attention, that's me pointing out areas of improvement. That is not me saying that Seattle is somehow bad.
You can watch all of Charlie's commentaries anytime on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube channel.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. so everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, tax, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
Our founders believed that freedom wasn't just a word. It was a way of life. The freedom to move forward, the freedom to pursue what matters most, the freedom to live fully. But aging has a way of taking those freedoms away. That's why there's Longevity Medical Clinic. John Curley here. My best move was becoming a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic years ago, and second best move, getting my wife Nicole to join me this year. Stop guessing and start working with a doctor who knows your goals and get personalized care designed around you, not the average patient. Discover what's holding you back and what can help you thrive with longevity. Aging is natural, but some of the effects are undesirable, and you don't want to have to just accept it. So this year, as we celebrate 250 years of freedom, ask yourself a simple question. Are you living with the freedom you deserve? Get real answers about your health and get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out more at lmclinic.com.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump says he spoke to U.S. Marine and veteran Robert Gilman after his release from a Russian prison. He was held for 4 years and there are reports of abuse. He's on a flight to a U.S. military hospital in Texas for medical evaluation. ABC's Patrick Reevell has more.
Gilman was imprisoned while he was visiting Russia after he was accused of kicking a police officer. And his family and the U.S. government say those charges were essentially trumped up. Of course, we've seen this before in Russia, where the Kremlin takes Americans essentially hostages, including famously Brittany Griner, Evan Gershkovich, and the other former Marine Trevor Reed. Now, President Trump has posted saying that Russia agreed to release Gilman on humanitarian grounds.
In Western Colombia, a scramble to find survivors following yesterday's powerful earthquake. More than 200 people are dead, hundreds of others listed as missing. On Wall Street today, stocks ending lower due to uncertainty that continues over the war with Iran. This is ABC News. Luigi Mangione was back in a New York courtroom for a hearing in his state case in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO. The judge overseeing the state murder trial says jurors will be kept anonymous over concerns they could be subjected to harassment, intimidation, or improper outside influence.
Judge Gregory Caro made the announcement when Mangione appeared in court on Tuesday for a brief conference ahead of his September 8th trial for allegedly murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Citing concerns about jury harassment and intimidation, Judge Caro said only prosecutors and defense lawyers will have access to the jurors' names and addresses. Judge Caro justified his decision by noting that individuals identifying themselves as Mangione's supporters have made inflammatory and hostile statements outside court and have signaled plans to try to speak with prospective jurors. Peter Haralambous, ABC News, New York.
The Powerball jackpot now up to $1 billion after no one matched the 6 numbers again last night. The next drawing tomorrow night. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
An update on the wildfire on Mount Rainier. One story coming up, but first let's check out that traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union. Really no surprises out there, seeing a very typical early afternoon commute begin to thicken up. North 5 in Seattle, scattered backups from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal. South 5, you're slow from Lake City Way to I-90. You're going to get pretty thick there on the Ship Canal Bridge. South 405, heavy from South Bellevue down to the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center has gone up to a 35-minute commute, a good 10-minute delay here. North 405, you're slow from South Center through the Renton S curves, and up in Everett eastbound 526, you're packed leaving the Boeing plant over to I-5. On the water, the Point Defiance Ferry Terminal now reporting a 1-hour wait for drivers. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Crews have been chopping down trees at the Sunrise parking lot in an effort to protect the visitor center from a nearby wildfire. The cameras show large trees and vegetation being removed from the west end of the parking lot. The Grand Park 2 is burning about 3 miles away and has torched about 315 acres since last Friday. A shipment of emergency food and supplies from Seattle to Spokane is being delayed after a truck broke down.
One group ran into slight issues yesterday while preparing those supplies. Food Lifeline's items were stacked inside the warehouse, but the transport truck that was supposed to go to Spokane, well, it broke down. So that means the shipment will need to wait at least one more day. Right now, we're working to find out if the truck is repaired and ready to head out today.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon. A teenager who was critically hurt in an e-bike crash near Mill Creek last week has died. The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says the 14-year-old collided with a car near 184th Street Southeast and 36th Avenue on August 5th. The driver stayed on scene and the crash is still under investigation, but authorities do not believe drugs or alcohol were involved. Federal prosecutors are targeting a Tukwila pet food manufacturer over alleged food safety violations. The Justice Department says Aero Reliance, also known as Darwin's Natural Pet Products, produced and distributed adulterated raw pet food. The complaint alleges FDA testing found Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli in products between 2017 and 2025, as well as Salmonella at the Tukwila facility in 2024. The government is seeking a court order requiring sanitation improvements before the company can resume making or distributing pet food. Movie crews are back on the streets here in Seattle. According to Deadline, Friend Thing is set in 1996 during Seattle's grunge era and centers on a teenager caught between his longtime friends and a new girl who changes his world. The film stars Alfie Williams, Ryan Kiera Armstrong, Pete Holmes, Louis Black, and Seattle radio personality Marco Collins is also set to appear. The film is expected to be released next year. And now check on that weather. A great day for outdoor activity. Sunny and 77, not too hot. All this week, temps hover into the upper 70s and low 80s by Friday. Partly cloudy tomorrow and Thursday, and then back to mostly sunny conditions as we head into the weekend. Sunny and 72 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. You still have a chance. It's still possible that you can get your text message into Last Call, which is the last segment of the show. 888-973-5476. You hit us up with your opinion on something that we've talked about, and if it's insightful or if it's funny, or if we're just lazy and we just pick it at random, it could make it into the show and you could be kind of famous.
It's our wild card entry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be nonsensical. We get a ton of those. And it still might be smarter than something that Spike or I have to say. And so there's a very good chance it makes it into the Last Call.
We're counting on you, folks.
We're counting on you. Get them in. 888-973-5476. All right. This was the start of the show today. We're rehashing a little bit because it's important information, although it's not much information, which is kind of the story. There was a press conference today. Seattle's interim police chief, who's a guy by the name of Andre Sales. He was briefing Seattle City Council members, of which there were aplenty, who showed up to talk about the investigation and the the aftermath of the Bite of Seattle shooting and what lessons have been learned. Where are they in the investigation into a possible third shooter? I don't feel like we got a ton more answers than we came with, and it felt actually kind of a little contentious.
Oh, you're putting it really kindly. It was scheduled to be a 15-minute briefing between the Public Safety Council of the Seattle City Council, which I think is a 4-member group, but there were a couple extra council members in attendance because these questions have been not just unanswered, but just ignored with regard to what do we know, what have we learned, why did things go down the way they went down? I'm betting they also want to be, if you're a council member, you're Seattle City Council, you want to be on the side of we need answers. We want answers. So it's like if if the safety committee is 4 people, suddenly that balloons to 9 on a day like this because everybody wants to be the one seeking the information so that when one of them eventually run for mayor against Katie Wilson, they could say, hey, we were the ones asking all the questions. You guys weren't very forthcoming with us. Exactly right.
So they're asking Seattle Police interim police chief. Let me play you this. This is Rob Saka, who do you think he's going to run for mayor of Seattle?
I hope he does, given his reactions to not just the shooting at Seattle Center for the Bite of Seattle. Remember back when World Cup was at our doorstep?
Yeah.
And the mayor was hesitant, if not reluctant, to give all the resources to law enforcement to keep the city and its visitors safe.
She wanted to leave the cameras off.
And Saka was front and center with
because of his history with
the Boston
shootings at mass events, or mass shootings at
the Boston bombing, right?
Boston bombing.
Was the Boston Marathon bombing. He was
you're right. Yes, that's right. Not a shooting, a bombing. You're right. So this was Saka asking, do we have a suspect? Can you tell us anything about this potential killer who might be on the loose?
Is there a killer on the loose? Yes or no?
Speaking with my detectives this morning, we're combing through some warrants and looking at some things. We still have to comb through some video surveillance that was there. I can't say yes or no. There is a possibility, and I think we're getting to the end of that once we get the evidence that we need from our detectives, looking at the video, looking at some social media things. I think we'll have a better response and a better idea if there's actual killer on the loose right now.
Didn't investigators speak with, interview, talk to dozens of people who are around there, including the victims that could have firsthand knowledge of whether or not, of how many shooters there were?
In traumatic events, sometimes when you're a witness, some things may be not as true as you think they may be because you're in a traumatic event. So once again, like I spoke at the first press conference, I don't want to say a person in a green, purple, yellow shirt is the person that we're going to arrest, and we make an arrest, and that is not the person that was there because there's thousands of people that were running from that scene at that time.
Okay, I'm going to pause it there. That's a very interesting thing for him to say, because when pressed about a potential suspect, who he just a second ago said, I cannot confirm or deny that there's a suspect. And then he goes further to say, unless I'm reading this wrong and listening to it wrong, he goes further to say, I'm hesitant to give you a shirt color because I don't want people just, there was a lot of people there that day. And then he goes on to give a shirt color, which doesn't make any sense to me. Listen to this.
So irrespective of the race of this person, are you able to provide a description of what they were wearing?
At no time did I bring up anybody's race in regards to this. As a black man myself, I understand it as well. I did not say a race. There was a potential identification of a person wearing a blue shirt.
Okay, I was just told that we shouldn't care about shirt colors. Does this not feel like confused messaging to you?
Well, he's being so careful, acting Police Chief Sales, to not say something as he's trying not to give away
It's politically incorrect?
That's politically incorrect.
That's what he's trying to do.
Inflame a community who's feels targeted by law enforcement. But when you say, look, is there an active shooter still at large, on the loose? And I said this earlier, but when you've got 3 people dead from gunshots, and the only person you do have in custody wasn't the guy who shot the gun that killed, his gun wasn't the murder weapon, I think it's pretty safe to say you've got an active shooter. Now, while we're not at liberty at this point in time to give you any details of his description or what he may have been, or he or she may have been wearing, their race, or any other detail, the fact that, yes, somebody who shot someone is still at large. That's not a hard thing to deduce from what we know, what has already been revealed.
Either they know nothing or they know something and they're not willing to say it because they don't want to offend somebody. Am I reading that incorrectly? You don't want to offend a group.
I think that's a safe reading of what was transpired today at the briefing.
So he seems to think that there's somebody in a blue shirt that people should be aware of, which means nothing, because unless somebody is just wearing the same blue shirt for the rest of life.
Yeah. Or if somebody...
Shirts can be changed.
Yeah, maybe if somebody saw something that day, oh yeah, I saw a guy in a blue shirt with a gun in his hand running and getting in a car. I didn't think about it before, but now that you mentioned blue shirt reminds me. Well,
he also said he's checking on warrants, which leads me to believe that they have some idea about who they might be looking for. If you're looking at are you just checking random warrants? Why would you check There's a lot of warrants. There's a lot of outstanding warrants in Washington State. Why are they just checking random warrants?
I heard a story this morning that search warrants are close to being issued with regard to this investigation. So obviously they have suspects or suspects.
They can give no possible description to the public unless they just are saying, hey, that's not who we are. We're never going to give you a description because we don't want to.
We don't want to vilify a community.
We can say blue shirt.
Yeah.
But it's not vilifying a community.
Well,
it's vilifying a person who may have shot someone.
Yeah, no, I
don't think anybody listens to that and says, like, if they were to come out and say, the shooter has white skin and we don't know who he is, but he is at the time of the day, if you saw anybody who was wearing a blue shirt and he had a red hat on and yada, yada, I don't think anybody out there would think that you were implying that every white person that you see is a killer.
I think that's a reasonable assessment to make.
And I think the exact same thing if he were to come out and say, like, hey, somebody who has black skin or somebody who has somebody who appeared to be Asian, it just gives the public somebody to go like, hey, you know what? I have video of that day. And maybe it's relevant video that you could be looking at. There's a blue shirt guy who happens to match your description that you've given me physically. Here it is, police.
Something else he said, though, that, witness testimony is unreliable. You may have think you saw something you saw. Initially, remember, then Chief Barnes said we have over 80 different tips. Some of them are contradictory. We're weighing them against each other to find some commonalities in the recollections of the people who said they saw something.
Sure.
Maybe he's saying there that, witnesses have told us it was a black shooter or a brown shooter, but we can't, there's too many contradictions. We can't verify that. I mean, I'm trying to find out why you give such a cagey answer, such a carefully cagey answer.
It feels to me like this is mostly about like, hey, let's, choose the politically correct thing, and then we'll, get to the. If they have, I don't know if they have. It sounds like if you're right, if they're soon to issue a warrant for somebody's arrest, then they must have some idea.
Or at least a search warrant.
Search warrant, possibly.
Well, another thing covered in that briefing today was, this thing was supposed to be a 15-minute scheduled briefing that lasted an hour and a half.
It's a long
You're
time.
right. It turned into an inquisition from the city council members for the Public Safety Council, saying, look, with regard to communicating with the city, and they were flat out asking the mayor's, public safety spokesperson who was there, did the directive come from the mayor's office not to make a public statement until the organized press conference 5 hours after the shooting? And they couldn't get a straight answer on any of these issues.
Yikes. You know what somebody needs to do? Somebody needs to go in there and just give a press conference class. They need to give a press conference seminar to Seattle City Council members, to the mayor's office, to the chief of police, or the interim chief of police.
There's a director of communications.
I don't think there is right now.
Well, they're on their second one because the first one already resigned out of this administration, right? Less than 6 months in.
I think
the press secretary's been replaced already. The chief of staff's been replaced already.
The communications director, I think that job is still open.
So is it open? Is no one acting, no interim one?
I mean, I don't know, but it's not the A-team, clearly. But it's a good job if you're interested and you have any experience. It pays $272,000 a year.
Seriously, can you know how to talk and answer questions? You might be the guy or gal for us.
The job could be yours.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get to something else that's more fun than that topic?
Sure.
Can we talk about cats on a boat?
Yes. Actually, I welcome the change of topic.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yesterday we will allow it. Yesterday we had a story about a boat in Tacoma.
Off Point Defiance.
Point Defiance.
Yeah.
Not on a dock. That's the confusing part of the story. It's not on a dock. It was anchored off the shore.
Just offshore, yeah.
And people started noticing there's a lot of cats on that boat.
Yeah. It's a sailboat.
Sailboat. And so they sent out they called the Tacoma police, who then called animal control, and animal control,
yeah.
I don't know if they took a dinghy out there or something.
They had to.
They went out there and they looked at it.
They brought a boat out to look at the sailboat, which has been an abandoned sailboat by all accounts of the local neighbors and the marina
but somehow
residents.
you got a bunch of cats. There was 31 cats when they first went out there.
31 cats yesterday.
Then they did a news story and they were like, "Yeah, we got all these cats," and we had a little bit of audio from that yesterday.
The boat is still meowing.
Yes.
Even after 31 cats
we
were removed.
We have an update today, but this is Animal Control Officer Sherry Page talking to KIRO 7 about that.
There was a couple who would come up to you, but most of them are pretty fearful. There's the challenge of the boat itself. It's pretty close quarters, and because it is a sailboat, there's lots of nooks and crannies that cats can hide into, which is part of the reason we weren't able to get all of the cats today. We're going by cat math, which is if you see one, you times that by 10. People start with just a few cats, and they're not spayed or neutered. And unfortunately, they do what cats do and make more cats.
She says it's clear the cats had been on the boat for several months or more, and that someone had been bringing them food and water. They appeared to be relatively healthy, aside from fleas.
If this boat's a rockin',
meow.
It's probably cats.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the update on the story. They went back to the boat because people were like, "Hey guys, we still hear cats." So they had 31 cats they took off yesterday.
Right, which is an unbelievable number.
They have now found an additional 23 cats.
There were 54 cats on this
Something's
sailboat.
going on here.
Well,
okay, if I sent you out, you don't have any animal control experience?
No.
Okay, so I know a little something about animal control because at a time in my life when I was a young man, during the summertime, it was my job to negate local beaver populations.
Oh, that's right. You told me this. Yeah.
Yes.
You're
so
working
my
for
job
the
was to tear
Natural
their
Resource
dams down.
Department, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Break up little beaver dams. Yeah.
I worked for the local drainage district in my hometown.
Okay.
And my job was to go out to these little tiny streams and rivers and break down the beaver dams so it didn't, stop, back up the lake, cause flooding.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about taking care of these animals. And if I were to send you out to a boat and say, "Hey, you need to get all the cats off this boat," that's a pretty easy job, right?
You would think. There's a boat is a finite amount of space.
Yes.
It's not like they're running from you.
Here's what I
would do. If you hear a splash, one got away.
You come back the next day and you're like, "You know what I missed?" It's fair to say, all right, I missed a cat.
Right.
Like they said, nooks and crannies.
Sure,
right?
they were hiding everywhere.
I missed 23 cats? Is that
Well, let me ask you this.
This is government numbers here. That's the problem.
But when you're sent to a boat and you're wearing a hazmat suit because there's fleas and there's got to be, cats are
smell.
Right, the smell. There's literally toxic material because cat droppings and cat
all that
feces
stuff.
and urine.
Yeah.
It just gets worse and worse and worse. And you're wearing a hazmat suit. You're thinking that's 31, that's plenty. We're done. Tapping out.
We're good.
Tapping out.
There couldn't possibly be any more.
If there is one, we'll come back tomorrow. 23 more.
23 more. I would bet there's more cats on that boat. I mean, the odds that they got them all.
What if it's a portal to another time?
You're right.
Catgate.
The only answer now is science fiction. There's just, this boat is a portal to a universe that's just mangy
Ancient
cats.
Egypt. No, these are royalty.
You think so?
These are ancient Egyptian
These are Siamese
cat
cats.
gods.
Isn't that what they had back then? Was it Siamese cats? Beautiful cats.
Some of them are lovely, but these poor things. Well, so they've been on this boat for months.
They say generally speaking, they're in okay condition.
Yeah.
Which is not a
They've
ringing
been on
endorsement.
this boat for months, though. And luckily, they did say someone was bringing them food and water. Somebody noticed there were cats on this boat.
This is a sting operation.
And it's
this is a crime we could solve. Honestly, this is a crime that you and I could solve.
Well,
we could do the Jake and Spike crime thing or the duo, the investigation.
Cats
we
on a
set up
boat.
shop on a little boat across the harbor.
Yeah.
And we're just watching all night.
Sure.
Like the Sting.
Yeah.
Like the Sting. Or what's that one with Emilio? What's the movie with Emilio Estevez? Stakeout.
Stakeout.
And Rosie, what's her face?
Rosie Perez?
No.
Rosie O'Donnell?
She moved to Ireland. Yes.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie
Okay.
O'Donnell. And I think
in
Richard
the love
Dreyfuss.
interest role?
Yeah.
I know.
It was
a
the
while
90s.
ago.
But I think Richard Dreyfuss is in it too.
Yeah, as the leading man, so
As
you know
like
it was
her-
a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but we could set up a stakeout.
Okay.
And we could just watch these cats.
Pretend we're fishing. Night goggles, right? Night vision.
I don't know if we'd want to show ourselves on the boat because I think
Okay.
who's ever feeding these cats
okay.
is going to be reluctant to
You're
show
right,
themselves.
You're right. Well, no one's feeding the cats anymore. I think the jig is up.
Oh, I don't know.
Right? I think the jig is up. Once animal control makes 2 trips and bring back 54 cats.
There's a sick person out there who loves feeding cats on a boat.
I think there's an angel out there who brought food and water to these cats.
No, this is hell.
No,
this is hell. These cats are living in hell.
There was 54 of them. They thought 1 or 2 cats. So maybe there's as many as 5.
No way. No way. You got food for 31 cats. That's actually 54 cats.
These people, a lot of cat food.
That's a lot of cat food.
Yeah.
You have ever had cats?
No.
Okay.
We got a dog.
This isn't one little can of Fiskars.
No.
This is a bucket.
Sacks.
And you're dropping it off, and you're smelling that smell, and that's work to get out to that boat. You're rowing out there. Yeah. And you're balancing. They also got to drink water. They can't drink the seawater.
They brought food and water. You're right.
So this is somebody who's actively going out there.
Yeah, on a regular basis.
Yeah,
you're right.
Almost like a sick experiment. This is almost like psychotic level, don't you think? All these cats. I mean, what's left for them to turn to but cannibalism?
The cats?
The cats.
Oh.
Do you remember that speech in 007 with, what was that guy's name in 007? He was a really good villain. The guy who was scary. Who am I thinking of? He was a villain guy.
Blofeld?
With the rats.
Let's go all the way to the front.
The rats. Do you remember that guy?
No, I don't. Which movie?
Oh man.
Tell me which Bond, and we'll go on from there.
It was the one with he's from Spain. He's from Spain. Who is it? Who am I thinking of?
Oh, I know who you mean. Yeah.
And he gives this speech about like my grandmother had rats on an
No
island.
Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
And he goes, and before long we had 2 rats.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Now they have a taste for rats.
Oh, that's right. He's going to feed the love interest to the rats. Oh, yuck. You're right.
I'm not saying that's what's happening, but it might.
We're just asking questions.
We got to stake this thing out.
So they know who the boat owner is.
Can't find him.
They can't find him. They know who the boat was registered to, and the boat was abandoned.
Yeah.
And it's easy, it was said yesterday, it's easy for a boat that sits in a harbor and isn't attended to just sit. A lot of times people have boats, don't get a chance to get to their boat. Things get busy, something happens in your family, a personal emergency or tragedy happens, and you don't really have time to get back to the boat.
Yeah.
And maybe you had a couple of cats on your boat and something happened. I'm assuming the owner died.
But
I'm assuming the owner died. I'm just hoping, like you said, I'm hoping the owner didn't die on the boat.
I hope he didn't die on the boat. That would be horrible. That would be the worst thing ever.
My grandmother had an island. Nothing to boast of. We could walk around it in an hour. But still, it was a paradise for
Del
us.
Toro? Benicio Del Toro? Or Benicio, right?
I discovered the place had been infested with rats. They'd come on a fishing boat and gorged themselves on coconut. So how do you get rats off an island? My grandmother showed me. We buried an oil drum and hinged the lid. Then we wired coconut to the lid as bait, and the rats would come for the coconut. And plunk. They would fall into the drum. And after a month, you've trapped all the rats. But what did you do then? Throw the drum into the ocean? Burn it? No. You just leave it. And they begin to get hungry. And one by one, start eating each other. Until there are only 2 left. The 2 survivors. And then what? Do you kill them? No. You take them and release them into the trees. But now they don't eat coconut anymore. Now they only eat rat.
Pretty dang efficient.
What's his name?
Javier Bardem.
Yikes. Yeah. He's good.
That's creepy.
He's got a big talent. That's creepy. He's very, very good.
That hair was scarier than he was.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's a very good actor. Anyway, we don't know what's going on in this boat, but we're going to stake it out maybe and figure it out.
Is the Pierce County Animal Shelter asking for donations for food and whatnot? They're always, whenever you find something like this, when there's a habitat with animals that they rescue from a
I mean, they got 54 cats. They got
I'm sure if you've got any kind of means to help these folks, make sure to take care of these cats who have suffered enough.
There you go. All right, Spike has some advice. There's a Netflix movie that's out. A man is living in a billboard to promote it.
Yeah.
You have already done this.
I've done this. Been there,
so
done
you
that.
can offer advice for this guy. We're going to hear about it next.
A little better.
Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
KIRO News Radio, where you hear the John Curley Show, 3 to 7.
Katie Wilson, people still blasting away at her. There's a great, crazy play called The Actor's Nightmare. And the play goes this way. The actor is standing backstage, and all of a sudden, the stage manager goes, "You're on." And he walks into the scene. He didn't show up at any rehearsals, and he's just there, center stage. And the nightmare is, I have no idea what my line is.
Watch live or later on the John Curley Show's YouTube channel.
Not all roofs are created equal, and not all warranties are either. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Right now, take advantage of free lifetime Golden Pledge warranties on all GAF shingle installations and save up to $3,000 or choose 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Summertime savings won't last forever. Protect your home with a roof you can count on for decades. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Summer's a busy time for businesses. WaFd bank accounts are designed to work with business owners like you, stay on top of every dollar, helping manage cash flow, pay vendors, and keep operations running smoothly. Get access to digital tools to simplify banking, like bill pay, signer and non-signer debit cards, and the option to upgrade your account as your business grows. Plus, our business bankers get to know you, so when you need help, we're there. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com, member FDIC.
Sprained wrist, ankle twist, broken thumb, can't make a fist, busted knee, surgery, that patch of ice you didn't see.
Where pain starts, Jernavix suzetrigine begins. Jernavix is a non-opioid 50 milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain.
Tendon tear, nose repair, tripping on that broken stair, dislocation, operation, moped crash while on vacation.
Do not take Jernavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jernavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes.
Joint displacement, knee replacement, fell on marbles in the basement, ladder slip, broken hip, that rock climb where you lost your grip.
To learn more about Jernavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit jernavix.com.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when aging is part of everyday life. John Curley here. Longevity Medical Clinic was created to help people with overall wellness and longevity, including diabetes management, heart health, weight management, inflammation reduction, nutrition, cognitive health, hormone therapy, and more. I can tell you from personal experience, being a patient for 17 years, I have a richer, fuller life, and I'm better able to pursue my own happiness. As America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself the chance to reclaim yours. Independence from aging. Take control of your health before small issues become big problems. Experience a smarter, proactive approach to aging, backed by decades of experience with longevity. Do what I did and feel like yourself again. Get your free health analysis at Longevity Medical Clinic. Find out how at lmclinic.com.
Certain industries expose workers to hazardous chemicals. If you worked in a paper or pulp mill, or in aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and have a child born with birth defects, your child may be entitled to legal damages as a result of your exposure to such chemicals. Birth defects have been linked to toxic chemicals, metals, and solvents used in these industries. If your child was born with brain or spinal cord damage, organ or limb malformations, blindness, cerebral palsy, genetic damage, or other birth defects, and you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill, aircraft manufacturing, or painting, contact us now toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your children may be entitled to legal damages. If you're a past or present worker in a paper or pulp mill or aircraft manufacturing or painting at Boeing, and your child has a birth defect, call toll-free at 1-866-99-TOXIC. Your call is confidential. 1-866-99-TOXIC. Message authorized by Weinstein Cajano, 600 University Street, Suite 1620, Seattle, Washington.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Bucky's Complete Auto Care is here to help. This is Sully. Right now, you'll save $50 on any AC service. Whether it's a weekend getaway or the daily commute, you deserve a cool, comfortable ride. For over 50 years, local drivers have trusted Bucky's for honest pricing, expert repairs, and guaranteed work, earning them the Carfax Preferred status. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, easy financing. For $50 off your cooling system service, visit Bucky's.com.
August is Karastan month at Carpet Liquidators. Purchase beautiful Karastan carpet and get free installation. From carpet to flooring, we've got you covered at Carpet
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. This morning, we heard from Seattle's interim police chief about the Bite of Seattle shooting.
Spoke to the lieutenant over our homicide investigation. There's some search warrants that they're writing today that they've written over the last couple of days that are going to be fruitful to this investigation.
Officers were on scene within seconds and subdued one of the shooters.
Get out! Get out!
Others are believed to have been involved, but no description has been released. Mayor Katie Wilson has also ordered a review of the communication to the public that day. Bellevue police are investigating a dangerous gasoline theft that sparked a car fire at an apartment complex on Village Park Drive Southeast. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Bellevue police say the suspect or suspects tried to siphon gas from the vehicle early Saturday morning, igniting a fire that destroyed the vehicle and damaged another. Fortunately, no one was injured. Here's Bellevue PD's Drew Anderson.
Bellevue is a safe community, but crime does happen, and when it happens, we want to be notified so then we could hold those folks responsible for committing those crimes accountable.
Anderson says this kind of crime is unusual for Bellevue. He's asking anyone with information to call the non-emergency line at 425-577-5656. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
You can see that video at mynorthwest.com. Wildfires have already burned nearly 2% of all the land in Washington state, according to the Seattle Times. This is now our third worst fire season in 2 decades. More than 720,000 acres have gone up in flames so far this year. Crews are hoping a new weather system will bring cooler temperatures and rain this week. However, fire officials say the dangerous season is still far from over. A Seattle neighborhood group says a neighbors captured alleged illicit activity on camera at Denny Blaine Park over the weekend. Lee Keller with Denny Blaine Park for All tells KIRO 7 TV about 100 people gathered at the park.
A lot of illegal and illicit activities that we have been asking the city to step in and stop happened. The masturbation, the sex acts, the rest of it.
But park users like Nicole Ruiz says
it's very rare that you see anyone doing anything questionable, and if that does start to happen, it gets addressed right away, but that's not typically an issue from what I've experienced.
The controversy comes as a judge has ordered Seattle to address overcrowding, safety, and improper activity at that park. Now let's check out your KIRO News Radio traffic. North 5, scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge. About 25 minutes to get through all this. South 5, it is packed now from the U District I-90 Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. Tack on another 10 if you're coming in from the Everett area. South 405 packed from Southeast 8th and Bellevue to the VMAC. Bellevue to South Center will take you 35 minutes. The First Avenue South Bridge just went up for marine traffic. Seattle to Federal Way, a half hour. We've got building volumes between Interurban and 516. And in South Tacoma, North 5, you're going to jam up briefly between 84th and 56th, where we just cleared a crash over to the Gore Point. And now your weather, sunshine and 77 today, 75 and partly cloudy Wednesday, partly cloudy 79 Thursday, and then Friday we're back to mostly sunny and 82. Sunshine and 73 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Spike and I were trying to figure something out off the air. We're talking about our different Netflix movies and streaming things that we're watching right now. The reason we're talking about it is there's a new movie that is that's out now. I believe you can already watch this. It's on Netflix. It's called The Last House. Have you watched it yet?
No, I saw the trailer a month ago and I want nothing to do with this. It's horrifying. It scares the pants off of me.
It's such a simple concept. Explain it to the audience. Because it's very intriguing. It's interesting.
Picture an average suburban family, mom, dad, 2 kids, getting ready to go outside and enjoy some outside activity. Except their door won't open, and then they can't figure out why. And then you move forward day 2, you can't get out of their house. They're stuck
literally sealed inside their house, stuck in there.
Day 3, day 15, they realize all the neighbors can't get out of their houses. No one knows what's going on. Day 100, they start growing their own food by ripping up floorboards of their building. How do they survive if they can't leave their house? Fast forward to day 1138. It's been 3+ years.
Jeez.
Stuck in their house. And then they figure out there's something that whatever sealed them in their houses is now coming to get them.
It's out there.
It's out there.
And then you can see it. It's a really creepy ad.
It's a creepy trailer. It's horrifying.
And what Netflix has done, the reason we're talking about this and how it pertains to Spike, Netflix is really.
I never leave my house.
Well, no, but Netflix has these viral ads that they do where they will go into a public space, kind of these immersive things, and they will create, basically just like a thing that people then talk about. And they've done this with a billboard. They recreated one of these houses. I'm going to read to you the description here because it's kind of neat. This was in Como had this, but they reprinted it from somewhere else. To embrace the creepy vibe, Netflix erected a billboard at 30 feet above the intersection of Sunset Boulevard and Selma Avenue in Los Angeles, with a disheveled-looking man inside. So this billboard looks exactly like the exterior of this house, with creeping vines, water damage, and even a front door with a sign that reads, "How long can you survive?" The interior is a living room set with couches and pillows and a man wearing a robe, T-shirt, and pajama pants. And he looks like a guy who's been stuck in his house. It's an actor. He's been stuck in his house for years.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there staring out at what's happening below, which is like people visiting Los Angeles on tour buses.
Yeah.
And they see this guy up there, and he's, pretending to be a part of this movie. It's a way to promote the movie. We're not talking about it.
Gets chatter.
Clearly it's working. But you lived in a billboard. You did this.
We lived on a billboard for, I think it was 17 days, maybe.
This was in Seattle?
This was in Seattle, yeah. But
I remember this.
We did a radio promotion in support of the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah.
When Sean Kemp and Gary Payton and the Ramy, when that team was rolling through the NBA Finals. And we made a bet with another city, and I think it was Sacramento was the first city we made a bet with. And we made the, stupid morning radio stuff.
Yeah.
We made a bet with this city and the team from the Sacramento Kings. And the loser, we bet the Sacramento radio station, I'm telling this horribly, loser had to live on a billboard until the winner was out of the playoffs. So we put we beat Sacramento, and so these guys in Sacramento started living on a billboard. And then we played the Phoenix Suns. But we lost to the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals.
So you had to then live on a billboard.
So the guys from Sacramento got to go home, and we had to live on a billboard until the Phoenix Suns finished their NBA Finals series with the Chicago Bulls. So for like 17 days, I think it was, we literally had a billboard down at Inner Bay between Magnolia and Queen Anne Hill. There's a U-Haul store right there.
Sure.
Next to a little driving range. Right, I think there's a 3-hole golf course there and a driving range.
Are there pictures of this? If I Googled this, I
bet you can. I bet you can. Yeah, Google Bob Rivers living on billboard. You'll find pictures of it. So we had to go up and live on this billboard 24 hours a day. Engineering let's put up so we could broadcast from this billboard every morning. We did the morning show from this billboard. We had sponsors that brought us we had a hot tub down below. We had big screen TVs because we had viewing parties of the NBA Finals. We'd invite listeners down to join us, in the parking lot of the U-Haul station, and they brought us food. We had like a basket on a fishing rod. We could lower down, and they could send us food. Right, but here's the beauty of this.
Where did you sleep? And
we slept on the billboard. There was a walkway, about a 3-foot walkway in front of the billboard.
They give you a sleeping bag.
We had tents. We had sleeping bags. We were not
pretty
uncomfortable.
Plush.
By the time this thing was over, there were 2 billboards back to back, okay? Because there was one facing north, one facing south as you go up there on, I think it's 15th. We built a little city in between these 2 billboards. We had a fridge, we had a microwave, we had tents, we had sleeping bags. We had a ball. We had a hot tub down below. We had people bringing us food. We had live concerts.
I bet you ate well.
We ate great.
Yeah.
We had live concerts during the morning rush hour. We had the guys from Alice in Chains come out and play. We had Randy Bachman taking care of business from BTO. He was a good friend of the show. He stopped by and played a little concert for the crowd down below. We had Mr. Ackerley, the owner of the Sonics and the Billboard, by the way, stop by with his wife one day and just kind of shake his head and thank us for our support.
All the promotion.
And wish us well. Yeah. Oh, it was great. We had a blast. And we stayed there until the Suns ended up losing to the Bulls in the NBA Finals.
So this guy's only going to be there, this Netflix ad, he's only going to be there for, I believe he already completed his whole thing.
It was like a three-day stint in this thing. That's nothing.
That's rookie.
Right? I mean, you can see, if you see the pictures of the story, you can see how there's 2 billboards back to back. That's kind of how it works. He had some private space back there. He wasn't really roughing it.
Plus, it looks like they went to a pretty good effort to make the interior of his space.
Looks like a living room.
It looks like a living room.
Yeah,
so he had all the plush.
Probably had cable. Probably had Netflix.
He probably had Netflix.
You know?
He's probably
got caught up.
He's probably doing live streaming from up there.
He probably is.
Did anybody want to quit at any point? Did you guys?
Nah, we were having a ball.
Yeah.
We stopped using the hot tub after 2 days.
Why?
Because
it would turn into
it was soup. After a couple of days, it was soup. Yeah, I know. It was no fault of the hot tub company. They were nice people.
But you just couldn't keep it clean.
Well, our producer got down there and just kind of lived in it for a couple of days, basically.
That's really disgusting.
Yeah, because we were off. We were only on the air 4 hours a day, and we had to spend 20 hours a day up there just, killing time.
Was there ever a point where you're sitting up there, and it was 17 days?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say day 5. And you guys are watching the games. You're eagerly
we're rooting for sweep.
100%.
Win or lose. We want done in 4.
Yeah.
Anybody in 4 was the mantra.
But you guys, were you just like, come on, that must have gotten pretty tiring. 17 days is a long time.
It was a long time.
You didn't think it was going to last 17 days?
No. God, no. We were praying for an end, and it went longer than we wanted it to. So, yeah, to your point, we had a great time. And, we say memories are golden.
Sure.
Time heals all memory.
Yeah.
We had a blast. It was wonderful to do. People were wonderful to us.
What's the weather like that time of year? You getting bad weather?
No, it was sunny.
Pretty good?
It was like June. Yeah, it was wonderful.
It's great time to be outside.
But it was chilly at night. I remember, they literally we would wake up and literally be handing a microphone into our tent. It's 6:00. Get up. Hey, everybody.
You just be laying there.
Yeah, we're like, hey,
in your
we're
sleeping
here.
bag.
Come on out front. Yay, big crowd. Yay, cheering.
That's wild.
Yeah. It was a blast.
They should have called you up before they put this guy up there. Could have given some advice.
Great promotion. I don't know who the marketing department is. Netflix is, but that's
they do a lot of this
idea.
stuff. They do a lot of this stuff. I can't remember the name of the show, but they recently rented out there was a live event at a stadium, and they do it's like a new version of. Do you remember the what was the stupid thing people used to do where they would all meet up and dance?
Oh, the flash mobs.
It's like a flash mob thing, but it's a more advanced and not annoying.
It's guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, it's guerrilla marketing. Yeah. There you go.
Smart.
All right. When we come back, it's last call. We got a bunch of your text messages. You guys can still get those in at 888-973-5476 on a variety of topics today. It doesn't have to be on any specific thing. You tell us what you want to talk about, then you can do that. So hit us up. Last call coming up next. We'll be right back.
A wildfire disaster unfolding just east of us.
The Spokane fires
destroyed hundreds of homes and forced tens of thousands to evacuate.
Unprecedented stories of loss, devastation, and heartbreak.
It was a beautiful home. It really was.
And there was a lot of terror because it's loud, it's hot.
Join KIRO Newsradio in doing whatever you can for our neighbors in Spokane. See how you can help at mynorthwest.com.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Ageless Living. If you are at a point in your life where you may need to look at assisted senior living or memory care, or your parents may need this situation, do yourself a favor. Go to agelessliving.com and schedule a visit to one of the many Ageless Living facilities in the Northwest. Nobody does it better, and it's not just me saying that. They're voted best of Western Washington by their neighbors. And in a study of over 60,000 communities nationwide, 500,000 reviews, Seniorly Magazine ranked Ageless Living the #1 senior living community in all of America for 2025. agelessliving.com/Spike. Schedule a visit today. You'll be glad you did.
This is it. These are the nights. The ones where you laugh until you can't anymore. And smile until your head hits the pillow. Where everything feels just right. Because it is. Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Must be 21 and over. Please gamble responsibly.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement?
Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
I like it hot.
Beg your pardon?
Can you make it hot for me, Dan?
I think so.
Half heated ain't hot enough.
No.
That's why I called you.
Apollo Plumbing.
Yeah, my sorry old water heater.
Oh.
Ain't getting me the hots anymore.
You want hot water.
That's what I said.
That's what we do at Apollo Plumbing.
And you're ready?
Right now.
When can you?
How about today?
Same day?
We'll have you in hot water tonight.
Clever. How about an upgrade?
A tankless water heater would mean endless hot water.
Now you're cooking.
That's just for starters.
Starters?
How about we make it a worry-free water heater?
Worry-free?
Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Which covers?
Repairs, service, all included.
And when it wears out?
Apollo replaces it.
No extra charge?
Nothing.
Nil?
Nada. As an Apollo A-list member, you're covered.
And payments?
To fit your budget with approved credit, of course.
And I'm hot again.
Worry-free.
That's for me.
We're on our way.
Thanks for making it hot.
We're ApolloPlumbing.com.
It's the best time of the year at Staples, with back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. It's our 49th birthday, and we're celebrating by giving you the gifts. Outstanding savings on saltwater hot spring spas, free Bluetooth music, and interest-free financing for 3 years. Plus, exciting savings on endless pool swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges. How's that for a birthday to remember? Ends August 24th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
All right, welcome back to the show. Good golly, we got a bunch of text messages today, especially about the vaccine conversation we had. If you guys missed that, it was a very, very spicy, really good conversation back and forth.
I appreciate you being, because I kind of went too far. I kind of got mad at you, and I shouldn't have been mad at you.
Don't get mad at me.
No,
It's
I
like,
know.
Who are you getting mad at?
You're not
It's
making
me.
policy.
I'm not making
You're not
vaccine
keeping things
policy.
from the public. It's not you.
It's not me.
My anger was misplaced, so buddy, I apologize.
You know what? Like a duck's back,
I love
whatever
you.
they say, it rolls right off.
Right off the bat, right off
It
a
doesn't
duck's
even
back.
bother
That's
me at
right.
all. It's part of your charm.
Nice.
Let's get to some of these text messages. Laura, you want to start us off?
Sure. Is there a suspect on loose in the Bite of Seattle shooting? That was the big question this morning at a committee meeting. Brad, the painter, says, is it me, or wouldn't we normally at least have sketches or pictures of people of interest? Why is this so different?
Great question.
It really is.
Yeah.
Kevin in the 206 says, it's like that movie with Ryan Reynolds in it. Looks like Looking for Blue Shirt Guy.
Exactly. What movie is that again?
Free Guy.
Free Guy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Great movie.
That's a good movie. Richard in Redmond says, there's nothing to worry about. Every 15-year-old gang member in Seattle is walking around with a pistol. There's no penalty for them until they get 5 convictions. WTF? Question mark.
Yeah.
This is funny, too. I should mention, we were making jokes earlier. Every time that you said gang, I would correct you and say, we don't call them gangs. We call them groups now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're joking,
Yes.
and we're happy to refer to gangs as gangs. But for anybody who didn't pick up on that, Totally understand. There's a lot of dry humor on the show, and sometimes it just doesn't.
And we didn't come
doesn't
up with
translate.
That's what the chief said at the time. We don't want to call them gangs.
Yeah, we call them groups, which we, obviously I was making a joke about. But thank you guys for the many, many text messages about that.
Chuck and Lake Forest Park, no way the top 3 police department commanders should be out of town at the same time, even for professional reasons, let alone vacation. That's unbelievable. And he's right.
What's that thing in D.C. they do where it's like
designated
survivor?
Yes, even the Secretary of Agriculture is sitting there
He's
for
not allowed to leave.
and knows what to do.
When the president is on vacation.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right. Should we get to some of the, let's do some of the e-scooter takeovers. Irene in Tacoma, why not ride scooters in a group? There are many, many nutty drivers out there who have guns, and their car is a lot bigger and heavier than your e-bike.
That got dark.
I think she's just saying,
why not
safety in numbers.
Get out of the, I thought she was saying get out of the way of the cars.
Well, she didn't. If they're scooters, there's safety in numbers.
253 says these e-bikes with throttles give all e-bikes a bad name. I have a pedal-assisted e-bike that only goes about 17 miles an hour at the most. There's no throttle. I have to pedal the entire time if I want it to go anywhere. But the throttle ones ruin it for all e-bikes, and they always wear black, and you can't see them as a car.
That's right.
Justin Tacoma, these e-bikes and e-scooters act similar to motorcycle gangs on the roads.
Groups.
Okay, thank you.
There you go.
This is from my own experience with both. I mean, we see it every day. We see it all the time, all over the place.
Let's get into some of these vaccine texts. We got a bunch of them. Diana in Seattle says the reason there are so many cases of autism now is because we have a name for it. She's suggesting that we just didn't know what it was before, and now we know.
Broaden the spectrum. Adam in Ballard says, go figure there weren't as many autism diagnoses decades ago. It wasn't added to the DSM until 1983.
I brought this up earlier because I do find it interesting that in 2000, which is many, many years after 1983, it was 1 in 151 people. Now it's 1 in 30. That's a big increase, and I would still like to know some more information about that. I think that's a fair question.
It is.
Janet says the scientists need to look at the change in our food and health in the last 50 years. Therein lies the problem.
You know what?
For that, man.
The food, all the ingredients that we have and all the additives and preservatives, that's a big part of it.
Did you guys hear about this lady who is flying people over to Europe for a diet of just pasta because the pasta in Italy helped her lose 50 pounds?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Anytime you go to Italy, you're like, why is this food so good? It's like, they actually only use like 40 ingredients, and we use 400.
You can lose 40, how much?
50.
50 pounds eating pasta?
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Pretty good.
More, Dana in Everett says, the link was disproven and debunked prior to RFK, and I would take the autism risk versus other nasty things that can happen from the diseases that vaccines prevent.
253 says science is not fact. There was also a time when scientists had studied their whole life, thought leeches and bloodletting was the way to go. Today, scientists may have seen through same eyes. Today, scientists may be seen through those same eyes someday.
Yeah,
253 is totally right.
Yeah.
And that's why I played those Fauci clips. Yeah. I mean, that's just a short time ago, and how things change.
Dave in Olympia, this is the major difference between liberals and conservatives, your blind trust in government. I'm not sure who he's mad at, liberals or
he was mad at you.
Was it me? Oh, okay. Well, Dave, there you go.
Bill from Tacoma, one thing I think both of you are missing. Oh, good. This is against both of us. Is the president bringing out the vaccines now because the midterms are just around the corner? Going to the playbook and grabbing a topic that people can rally around, worked before, it'll work again. And I think everybody should get the vaccines. It's ridiculous. Bill, I do think you probably are onto something. I do think there is a political motivation to a lot of these things. So you're probably correct there. Thank you guys so much for your text messages.
We have a great audience.
We love the interactions.
We really do, man.
It's a lot of fun. We love it. We hope you love it. And we're going to be back tomorrow with another great show. So we'll see you then. John Curley's coming up next. Bye-bye.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves erased in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman's stainless steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How did you get 30, 30, bid you get 30, bid you get 20, 20, 20, bid you get 20, 20, bid you get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
7 locations across Western Washington and a track record of success for their clients. Allow yourself to recover while Harold Carr Law Offices handles your insurance paperwork and settlement. Carr spelled with 2 R's. C-A-R-R. Carlaw.com. C-A-R-R. Car accident, call Carr.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Nothing worse than clutter. With Closets by Design, everything will finally have its place. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. ClosetsByDesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking